Yes. And we are back.
Hey.
I just finished eating some chicken. We're back. Okay. It's the Ooh Ladies First Panel. That's us. Okay. How y'all doing, ladies?
Hey, hey, hey. I'm happy it's
Okay.
almost Friday.
Baby Friday. Friday Junior. Okay. Lip gloss is
Why
popping.
was
Lip gloss is cool after school. All right. So, y'all, listen. We know we late. And I would say I was sorry, except for the fact that most of you hoes was late too. But I still apologize. I love y'all. But y'all know I just have to be a little bit, little tongue in cheek. Gotta be a little tongue in cheek with y'all a little bit as soon as we begin this. All right. It's OohLadies First Panel. And we got a lot of topics for the evening. Okay. We actually have like a kind of sort of new segment. It's something we've already kind of been doing. But I wanted to go ahead and make a little graphic for it. So before anything else, without any further ado, let's get into it. All right. So, Jami, are you with us, sis?
Yes, it was going very, very slow, my sound, but I was hearing, so I had to click off and come back in.
We just want to check in before we start. All right. So it's good to see all of y'all are here. Hey, everybody in the chat, as y'all come in, get comfy. We got a good show for y'all tonight, and we're starting off with some questions. Okay. Question. Tell me what you think about this. What is your favorite form of self-care? Self-care. All right. What do you do for yourself exclusively to feel good about yourself, to feel good, to feel relaxed, whatever it is that you do that this is my form of self-care? What is that? Any of the ladies who would like to go first? I'll go last.
I like to sleep. Not really. No. I would really say shopping. When I feel like
That's a
I'm
good
so
one.
tired, I just order a whole bunch of stuff. Because I'm like we deserve to spoil ourselves. And I also like sitting like in the dark and silence. It's like calm my mind. So like if I'm having a stressful day, I'll come in the house and I won't get anything going, and I'll just like sit here, like drink a bottle of water and just kind of, you know what I'm saying, mellow out.
Not a
I think
bottle of
it's
water.
Bottle of water. She has a glass of wine.
because like during the week I don't drink because it would make me not call off work the following day. So I do just water. I drink so much water, it's crazy. But yeah, because I think the silence kind of just helps me decompress. Because sometimes I listen to music, it can help, but sometimes it makes me feel some kind of way. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to feel, I just want to like just be. So that's how I kind of self care myself. Shopping and a little bit of silence in the dark.
I feel you on the decompression. I was in the car today and I wasn't playing any music. And I've been doing that lately. And I was like, I can't stand whenever somebody get in your car and they be like, you can play music. I know,
Right.
but I'm trying to hear myself think. Like I need time to myself.
Hilarious.
So for me to decompress, I like going to go get a pedicure, especially at the nail shops that have the full bars. Give me the longest pedicure you got, and I will sit there and relax. The other thing lately that I've been making a good habit of is working out. Those Peloton instructors are so like they be talking to you in class, they compare the resistance to uphill battle and all that extra stuff. And it be like, this is the only 45 minutes that you set aside for yourself for the day. And I feel good about that. So nail shops, working out.
That's a good question because for me, I'm actually sitting here really trying to think because I'm realizing that I don't do enough of self-care for myself. So I have to work on that. Like my self-care, which really is not self-care for real, and possibly to some, is literally scrolling TikTok. Like I find joy in just sitting there for hours watching people's content.
I don't
Okay,
get
so that's
TikTok.
like,
Is it relaxing really? Because
yes,
it's other people's
it's
stuff.
it's
I
so many different
Yeah.
vibes on
TikTok is
TikTok.
everything.
I've
I
fallen
love
down the
it.
rabbit hole, and honestly, it is so enjoyable to just sit there and swipe through people's content. And then as a content creator, I started doing it to find content. And now it's something that I actually kind of enjoy doing. So Jaylee, you should definitely give it a, like, let us know. We'll send you some things to help your algorithm.
I got the app on it, but I ain't.
Because once you get on there, they'll put a whole bunch of clear people on there, and you'll just be like, shut it down.
At the beginning, all I saw was just Renegade. I was like, oh, that's when I first downloaded the app. I was like, nah, this is not for me. But you got to get that, let that algorithm catch you.
Okay.
But I feel you. It takes time though, Jaylee, because when I first downloaded it, it was when Cardi B and Offset was promoting it. So I got on there for them, and then I was like, okay, I don't understand this. Let me fall back. So it took a few months, and when I hopped on, it was around the time Necey talking about with Renegade. So I just fell into it for like 4 hours. I was just up there. So that's like my form, but I'm realizing that I have to do more. You know what I'm saying? I've been talking about going to get a facial. You know, I just went and got a long pedicure, like Necey said yesterday. So I'm seeing that I need to do that more.
Do y'all have y'all shades on, or like I put my shades on? I have my earphones in. It'd be like really the material.
That's the don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me.
Yeah, like I don't want to talk to nobody.
I never thought of it. That's a good
me either. I put my earbuds in though. I do be like, I don't know why you talking to me. I can't hear nothing you saying.
No, and I mean like dark sunglasses. We can't see my eyes, headphones, my hoodie be on, and I'm just like, and then I'm
zoned out.
I'm gonna tell you this though.
Podcast in the background.
Okay, New Orleans needs more Black-owned nail salons. Because I'm sorry, that's no disrespect to the Vietnamese people that are always available to get your nails done. But honestly, I am really annoyed with the fact that I can never actively communicate with y'all. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be real. Y'all never actively like communicate with the people who y'all are servicing. Y'all communicate with each other around us. And honestly, it makes me feel away. Almost like, these Black people are going to come and give you their money. So you don't even have to really like respect them. Just kind of come in, get your service, give me your money, and get out my establishment.
So am I weird because I don't want to talk to people when I'm at the hair?
No, you're not weird. No, okay. I'm just
I think it's weird. I'm like,
that's not the only reason why though, Jaylee. I promise you. They really like, okay. It's never that relaxing a massage as when I have gone to Black women. It's never as good as the products that I have gotten when I go to Black women. I go to the Asian people and my nails are peeling in a few days. I go to Black lady, I be relaxed as shit, and my nails last for damn near a month, except for the fact that they be growing up. Okay. But she is always booked, so it'd be hard to get your 2-week appointments in and all of that type of shit. But and listen, it don't always just be Black women, but I'm just saying like Vietnamese people and Asian people period have cornered that market. So I feel like they don't feel like they have to work for your business. They just feel like they have to have people there to do it at your convenience. And that's it. And I'm kind of over that experience because it's not as relaxing as y'all are saying that it should be.
So I get tired of being promoted to. You want to get the deluxe down at the bottom? No, ma'am. I want to get the regular one is what I'm telling you today. No, you're going to get the deluxe, get the bottom of the. I don't care about, like, they're always trying to sell you something. And I don't want to be sold. I just came here to get this done. It's like the people in the, when you're walking around in the mall. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. It's the no thank you.
Nope.
I just came here for this. Let me just do this. So I think that's the other thing too about going to them. They always trying to upsell you on something. You want to get gelled? No, I don't.
See, here in Detroit, like we have either Vietnamese shops or we have some Black shops too. But what I don't like about some of our Black shops is too, I won't say ghetto. It's too lax to where they feel like because we all, the same color, they don't have to be as professional. And that is very, very aggravating. Where I feel like, I want to come to you and I get that we don't same color, same skin, but it's like still treated like a business. And so for me, I think that's why I go to the Vietnamese people because one, they're close to my house, but also because
that's why.
It's business. Like I come in, get what I want, and I'm done.
It's quick.
It's literally like
It's
a
Really,
line.
that's really why I go
That's
to
true.
them all the time. Not because I really want to, because the truth of the matter is the person I want to go to is so damn far from me. And it's always a trip. It's always a day trip going all the way uptown. And then if I can get the appointment, but it's crazy because like the Vietnamese place don't even have shit as simple as a hardener. You say, do y'all have a hardener? They don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know why? Because it's not about the nail health for them.
Yeah.
It's about getting the nails done. And they don't even do nail art like that. So anytime you want somebody that's going to do really good with your nail beds and make your nails strong and put stuff on them, you're going to have to go to somebody else. When you want really extravagant looks and diamonds on, you're going to have to go to somebody else. It's just kind of aggravating.
That's like when hairstylists who know how to put in a weave but can't really take care of your hair. So I think the same thing when we have nails they do, who only can do nails, but they can't treat your nails. It's the same thing with some hairstylists can do your hair, but can't treat your hair.
That's true.
And I'm like, I don't want to pay less money for someone who's going to do my hair, but when my hair break out, they'll know they're doing.
Jay Lee, why did you even say that? Girl, I saw a post today. I'm sorry. You know how when something come to your mind and you like, oh my God, this shit was crazy. I saw a post today where the girl was like, you know, I guess a braider, and she was like, "I'm gonna start charging y'all $200." You saw that $200 extra if
for
you have split
breakage or something.
I said, "Girl, you don't want to do hair. What are you talking about? Stop doing hair because you don't want to do it."
But
if you
know, why she need extra
though,
money though? Like, what is? Why she need extra money?
They always need extra money now. Now it's extra money to wash your hair. Now it's extra money to actually comb the shit out. They want you to come with your shit cleaned and all. I grew up in a hair salon. You came straight from work. You know, I don't understand what's going on these days, y'all. I'm grateful that my mom still is the type of hairstylist she is, but they're going out of style because of whatever's going on now. And I mean people that are good at customer service, that are good at hair health, that also aren't going to, you know, take your business for granted because we both like this and not like this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I didn't even tell y'all. Sorry, my favorite form of self-care is massages. I get an hour and 10-minute massages damn near every 1 to 2 weeks, especially with the working out. And the working out is self-care as well, but like something like, and then I found a really good, y'all, when you find you a really good massage therapist, like it's so amazing because they'll have you like halfway conscious, halfway sleep. It's just an amazing thing that happens when they're really good because their movements are intentional. I don't know if y'all have ever gotten a massage by somebody whose every movement is so intentional by how quick they move their hands, how much pressure they apply, like all of it, like the whole thing. And I love that. So yeah, massages, beach, massages. Anything else to add, ladies? Y'all got to take care of yourself, mind you. That's why I wanted to talk about this because I feel like there aren't enough of us that take care of ourselves. So I, you know, and in a manner that is for us and like to make us feel good and all of that type of shit because we be feeling like we shouldn't have to do that or, you know, it's not important. It's important. Get your nails done, get your feet done, get your massages, okay? Get your feet done for real because y'all don't want to be out here with that extra nail on top of the nail with the fungus underneath and then the cuticle then grew over the nail. Girl, some shit I saw on TikTok earlier. Please.
See, now I can't go on TikTok. I don't see extra nails.
No, but okay. The Dr. Pimple Popper, it be shit like that on there that I have come across.
You know why? You know why, Jaylee? Because Necey probably sending that stuff to Bondy. So what Bondy likes, that shows up on her thing. But if you don't like that content, it's not gonna show up constantly.
I made the mistake of liking Dr. Pimple Popper, and I just like Dr. Pimple Popper, so I was gonna like it anyway just because I like her. So it was like.
You have to be so intentional on TikTok. Like if I see a video that I might not like, but I watched it, I try to like click away faster than clicking away slow because I'm like, what if the app can read the speed at which I swipe? And that's how they're detecting what my algorithm is. So if I don't like it, I swipe harder. But if I'm like kind of intrigued, I might do a little back and forth. So I let them know kind of like, show this again, but I don't know.
Necey got all strategic. I know.
I might have to do.
I might have to consider
you said that shit, girl. These two little girls popped up on my timeline talking about, and the song was "You Want to Get With Us" or something like that, and they switched, to no makeup to makeup, but you could tell they like 14, 15 years old or something like that. And then the caption was like, "And we got big booties" or something, and I was just like, oh no. I said, I don't know what this is. I was about to have an overreaction. I was about to be like, whose children are these, and get them off the internet like this. Because I don't even like this. Look, we're going to get into a whole nother topic that's kind of glued into that. But when I saw that, I was like, I don't know whether I should hurry up and click off of it because I don't want them to give me no more of this kitty shit that they got going on TikTok. But that's what
y'all telling me. What y'all telling me is stay the fuck off TikTok. I get it.
No, that's not what we're telling you. That is not what we are telling you, Jay Lee. Do you stay the fuck off Twitter?
No. Well, no.
Okay. Just as problematic, just with video.
What Necey and Bondy said makes so much sense now because if it's something I don't like, I'll go to the comments to see if somebody else is thinking how I'm thinking. And I just ain't gotta say it. So they say it. Instead of just going to the next thing, I don't even be thinking about that. I should.
Yeah.
But I be going to the contents to see it.
It knows that you're intrigued.
They see how crazy this shit look too.
Exactly. And y'all know, I told you, I'm into all that type of stuff. It's a documentary. It's something about Facebook and how they were accused of rigging the election in 2008, I think. I don't remember what year. No, couldn't have been 2008. It must have been 2000, where they put different things in front of people's faces and it influenced their voting opinion. So they out here, the Feds watching. They know how we move on social media for sure.
And I think I saw that one.
Ooh, that's why y'all don't never see me post certain things because I know that the federale hoods is watching. Okay. Now we're moving on to the next question, which is because of the season that we are in. What is your favorite Halloween movie? And it doesn't have to be a scary one. It can just be a Halloween themed movie or just your favorite movie to watch around Halloween time. Okay.
I have two. Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Come on now.
And then Practical Magic.
Come on, Practical Magic.
I love Practical Magic. I have that on my DVR right now. I love that movie.
Girl, I got that on my Amazon Prime.
So those are my favorite, like Halloween type.
Those are fun ones.
Y'all don't be watching Halloween Town?
Yes, especially the first two.
Watching what?
Yeah, Halloween Town.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's on Disney. It's a throwback to Disney. But here's the thing. If y'all have Peacock does like the most amazing thing with the way they create playlists of stuff. So they'll have like all of the Friday the 13th movies, all the Jason movies, all the Michael Myers movie, all of the what's the other one? Somebody else I forgot. But Chucky, all the little killer movies and stuff, and they have them categorized and everything. But they also do like the special Halloween episodes from different shows, which I love because I've been watching the Psych one over and over again for the past couple of nights. I don't know why, but I love Psych. But come on, Nightmare Before Christmas. That's another one of my favorites. See, I don't like technically a Christmas and a Halloween movie.
Because it can be easy.
Yes.
I don't like the scary type Halloween movies. I like the fun type, like Hocus Pocus. I don't want to watch Michael Myers or Jason. Like I've seen that. They don't die, they're alive. So there's no fun in that for me. Yeah, it's like he just don't die. So I'm like, no, let's give me some regular.
I'm gonna have to watch it. What network is that Chucky TV show on, y'all? Somebody tell me because I keep hearing about it. Sci-fi. I'm gonna have to get into it because I keep hearing about it.
Is it on Paramount? Okay, I don't know. Look at that.
I
can't remember. I thought it was on Paramount, but I don't know.
It might be on both.
It looked good though. Like
thank you, Princess, for the super chat. Y'all to remove it, hold the video and click not interested. TikTok algorithm crazy. I like it though. My FYP, what does that mean? My For You page. My For You page filled with black and people of color, not one palm color. Thank you so much for that super chat, and we appreciate your addition. Because we needed to know that. Scream 1 and 3 is my. Oh, come on, Quaisha. I do love me. Scream is probably my favorite Halloween movie because even though it's always a killer, the killer still always dies. the heroine always lives, and there's always a new killer and a smarter way to set it up so that you don't know who the killer is. And I love the fact that a lot of the times I won't know until the very end, and that's hard to do to me. So, I be figuring shit out automatically. Okay, I be up there watching that shit for an hour, be like, man, that bitch the killer, whatever. So yeah. Did everybody answer?
I haven't. I'm with Jay Lee. Like, I don't really like to watch scary stuff. But when somebody mentioned Nightmare Before Christmas, I think it was. I used to love that as a kid. It made me think about Edward Scissorhands.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I have not seen that in a minute, but I wouldn't mind watching that. Now that I think about it, I used to love that film.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. The lyric was like, ooh.
Yep. Jeepers Creepers is a devil movie. I don't know that. Look,
not a devil movie.
It's a devil movie. See, I hate that song, and if it come on, I'm like, nope, Jesus. No, I need to feel a prayer. I can't. Okay. Because I feel like Jeepers Creepers is somewhere in the cornfield waiting for its time to come out, and I don't want to be out there.
That made me think of Children of the Corn. Too funny.
Oh, not Room 1408. That shit actually creeped me out. Like,
with Samuel L. Jackson?
That was weird, but it wasn't scary.
No, not Room 1408. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the one where the dude get in the room and they keep repeating the date over and over again. So he keep thinking he got out the room, but he didn't.
That's it.
Is that it?
Is that the same?
Is that Room 1408? I didn't know. I didn't realize that was Samuel L. Jackson.
I think the one with Samuel L. Jackson, and I believe John Cusack.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah, 23 creeped me out too. I ain't seeing numbers everywhere. That shit creeped me out too. All right. So next question. And this is why I wanted to talk about this shit with the kids and all of that, because I saw this this conversation floating around. And honestly, I have a really strong opinion about it, because I feel like when I was younger, I used to have these conversations because like my sister, my cousins were all having kids, right? And I'm like in high school paying attention to the way, and in college, paying attention to the way the cell phone and the social media thing is happening, right? And I was like, y'all really shouldn't be giving them cell phones when they like 8, 9 years old. I'm like, they really shouldn't have them, y'all. And they kept, you don't know what you're talking about. You ain't got no kids, or they just ignore you, because they still want to do what they want to do. Okay. Fast forward all this time, and we still arguing about this. And after everything we've seen with the way people cyberbully, the access these kids have to things that they don't need access to at a certain age, the way they have basically predators at access to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, all they have to do is be on any app pretending to be a kid or anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and we used to be on the internet, y'all, but not like this. Like, we had Yahoo Messenger and for the gay girls and all that, we had Downlink, and then we had MySpace, and we had Black Planet. And we used to code and shit. It was fun. This shit y'all on now, like, seeing those 2 young girls on that TikTok video made me feel like this is an advertisement to fuck on kids. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sorry. But I have to say it. And it kind of goes along with the shit, we're going to be talking about tonight, for the, lack of a better term. Sorry. But I wanted to ask y'all's opinion on this. How young is too young for a smartphone?
I like that you're specific and say smartphone.
Yeah, because I'll give your ass a flip phone with Snake on it and no social media access. Absolutely. Because I want to be able to know where you are. I want you to be able to call somebody if something wrong. But a smartphone is okay. We can get you a flip phone.
That's a good question. My son didn't get his phone until I think it was like going into junior high school, maybe like towards the end of elementary, going into junior high school, is when he got a phone. How young is? I feel like probably in that age range for a smartphone. When you're transitioning over into junior high school. It's kind of difficult because a lot of those smartphones have smarter devices on them, right? So that you can access your child in so many different ways, whether it's text or whether it's FaceTime or whether you're able to download an app. So it's kind of tough because fear drives a lot of the products that sell. So somebody may give their child a phone at the age of 6, but also, even though it's a smartphone, you can kind of shut down other sites and stuff to where they can't use it. Or I don't know if there's an app for that, but I know that there's like parental controls on the phone. So I mean, I honestly I don't know the full answer to that of when. I would think it's between the ages of like 11, 12ish, somewhere in there. But the way the world is now, it's kind of like all kids should really have some type of phone device,
Yeah, it's
even if
different
it
'cause,
is
like,
smartphone.
you know, I'm older. So back when I was younger, we didn't have to deal with that. But we had, beepers and social media and, the chat rooms or whatever. So it was still dangerous back then because you could still be, you know, trapped in just being somebody through AOL chat room. I think the fact that we are in a time where everything is technology based. So I think it would hinder a child's safety if they did not have one because for some parents, that's how they track their children. So I think you should do what's best for your child, but also make sure the phone is blocked for certain things because that's where it come in at. They can have a smartphone, but I have access to Wi-Fi when not at home. Like there's no internet when they're gone, so that's a good thing. So I think it just depends, but I do think children need cell phones because when I was watching Channel Taylor on her show and Junie was going to whatever preschool or whatever kindergarten, whatever it was, and she said, "Hey, this is your phone. Call me if it's an emergency." And I'm like, that's also a thing. Like, my child needs to be able to get in contact with me if something happens. So as long as your child is aware of what not to do and you have safeguards in place, I think any age is okay because you want to be like, okay, my child is here with a phone and I can find you.
Okay, so let me read this super chat and then I'm gonna address what you said because I wanted to mention something. Thank you, Tina, for the super chat. Y'all remember the old school cell phone that only allowed kids to call 3 program numbers in 911? Child, no, I do not. I don't remember that because
I
when my
remember
people had
it.
cell phones, you could just
I
dial.
wouldn't,
It wasn't like
I
that.
wouldn't call it old school because I don't. This was like after everybody had a cell phone. It's a
Okay.
long time ago that they did that. I do remember it though.
So let me say this, y'all. The one thing that I want to mention that's not just about the predators and all of that, that's a part of it, but it's also about the way social media shapes the way people feel about themselves. And I feel like I want my kid to know who they are and kind of at least have confidence in themselves to a certain extent before I allow them to constantly be taking in imagery that is going to affect how they feel about themselves. Because at the end of the day, I'm an adult and the shit affects how I feel about myself. So I feel like I would kind of want to be protective of their whole little like energy growing up so that they wouldn't feel like I need to have my phone all the time, or they don't need to feel like I need to be fitting in based off of what I'm seeing on my phone. Because I feel like that's an inevitability. Like based on social media and the way it's been going for like the past few years, it's inevitable for a kid to get on social media, see all these images and feel like I'm supposed to look like this. I'm
But
supposed
that's
to
where the
sound like
parent come
this.
in, though. I think a parent would know to not put those apps on the phone, to block them apps from the phone. Like when before DJ, because my nephew DJ, he's 15 now, about to be 16. When he first got a phone, we did not have any social media apps on the phone. Those were blocked because he couldn't get it. It wasn't until he turned 13 that his mom allowed him to even get, I think, on IG, and even that was a child's IG, but she still monitored what he do when he was, and we was all like on it too. So I think some people assume, okay, a child will have a phone and then they're on social media. It's like, no, they can have it, but not have those apps on it because you don't want to expose them to it. So I think the parent's job is to get them a phone, cool, but then know what you do not want on it so they don't see it until they're old enough to know, okay, now they can take in all this bullshit that we see on a regular basis. Because some kids
I
don't know
was
about the app until, someone puts it on there.
the point I was gonna make was to this comment from Sierra where she says kids are smart, they will access it if they want it. For me, I was thinking probably middle school because I'm trying to think about the age at which a lot of kids will have phones. But like you mentioned, if the child has a social media, I think it should be monitored. They did the same thing with my niece until I think she just got her own social media and she's about to be 16 now.
Okay.
So
That's a good way to deal with that.
yeah, I think they're going to be influenced by other kids as it is. And if the other kids are influenced by social media, they're going to come in contact with it eventually. So I think if the child is below, like if the kid ain't walking to school alone and stuff like that, they don't need a cell phone. Send them to school. The teacher will call if it's an emergency. you know how our parents used to send us to school, and then you get home, how's your
Exactly.
day? I don't text my mama whenever my teacher look at me the wrong way, you know. So
I'll cut my teachers out.
Right.
right,
I just feel like there, because I feel like when I was seeing this happen, they was like 7, 8, 9, you know, and they were like, "Oh, here's a cell phone. Get out of my face!" Like,
But
you
see,
know,
that's bad parenting. That's like I don't have time to parent my child, so get my phone. Versus I'm a caring parent and I want my kid to have access to certain things. Versus I'm a kid myself with a kid being kiddie-ish, and so it's a whole fucked up cycle. So I do think
I
it's two
mean,
different spectrums to it.
a lot of people may not feel like they're being bad parents because they allow their kids to just be freely on these things. Because there obviously there are a lot of kids who are freely on these things because we see them on these apps. So, you know, it's just, you know, topic of conversation. But I feel like everybody should obviously be doing what's best for their
Watch
kids.
your children so they don't marry them stop for them.
Okay, but I mean, like we gotta talk about it because that's what's going on out here. Like that's what's going on, you know. Okay, so true or false? Most men are running away from great women. Are not running away from great women. They're running away from parts of themselves they're not willing to fix or fix to deserve her. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm reading that fucked up, but y'all know what I'm saying.
that
Most
sounds
men
kind of
are
deep.
not running away from great women. They're running away from parts of themselves they're not willing to fix to deserve her. Read it out.
Yeah, I have to agree with this off top. I have to because I'm just thinking about different situations. I mean, sometimes the women aren't right, okay? But this is about great women. So I'm assuming if it's something that a woman won't tolerate, a lot of times they won't even address the issue or they'll project the issue and then go find somebody else who's willing to take a lower quality man. So I definitely think I agree with this.
It's
Yeah,
true.
that's definitely the short answer. You're right, Jaylee. It's definitely true.
It's
In
true.
both ways, to where men and women can both not want to see things within themselves as wrong, and they blame the other person. It's like, no, motherfucker, you fucked up. Leave me alone. Get out of my face.
Exactly. Because people gonna do what they want to do when they're ready to do it. And a lot of times, you know, guys just aren't ready to level up. And it says more about them than it would say about the woman. So they decide to put her through a lot. And sometimes this is the crazy thing for me. Sometimes they don't even be, and I'm glad they changed this and said men aren't running away from great women. They're running away from parts of themselves. But what they really doing is they're putting a woman in a position to really make the decision to walk away. He gonna continue to kind of like sit in it. He not gonna level up. He gonna be content in who he is. And it's up to you to make the move of how you need to move. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's unfortunate, but this is true.
But you know what this made me think about, right? This made me think about all of the dudes on Married at First Sight. Like it really did. Cause go ahead, Necey, because I know you hearing me.
No, I am. The first person I thought about when you said that was Johnny and Ryan both. They're the worst at it, I would say, when it comes to this. Zach is a different story. Johnny and Ryan, they're the worst. They definitely got some issues, and we're gonna dig into it later. But both of them thought that they was ready for a wife, but they really was ready for was some damn counseling because a wife ain't gonna replace your daddy issues or your best friend passing away.
And that's on God. Okay. So let's move on from there. Okay, there. There's another post that I saw, and I feel like a lot of these posts I've been seeing, I feel like it's just really good topics of conversation. So we should, dive in or whatever. But this is something for the friends. Okay. Y'all ever met someone who's always going through something, laughing my ass off? That shit is not healthy to even be around, man. God damn. And then somebody said, imagine you open this app and your friend subbing you like this, okay? Laughing my ass off. Is that what they hold up? Yeah. Well, whoever this is probably seen it in seen red, because I know I was. So whoever the friend is will be pissed off that their friend got online and basically said, you always got a problem. And then a lot of people in the comments were saying that's why you can't talk to everybody about your problems, and that's why you can't rely on everybody for your issues. And I personally felt like y'all full of shit. If somebody's saying that about you, that's because you attract bullshit and you always want people to validate you in your bullshit. So you call around seeing if you could find somebody that's gonna validate your bullshit when you didn't talk to at least 2 or 3 people that had told you what you really needed to do, but you ain't want to hear that. You won't keep
Say
making bad decisions. I'm
Yup.
sorry, but this screamed lack of accountability. Go ahead.
But knock knock, am I a clown? Knock knock, am I a clown? Knock knock. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Well,
It's weird.
I think it's a difference between people who keep up bullshit versus people who may be going through things in life. I know a girl from high school who consistently posts about hardships in her life. However, she doesn't be posting about it for attention. She really be like venting because she be going through it. So I do think it depends on people who just attract bullshit and that's what they do versus people who just have a hard life and they just like they're venting it out. So I don't think it should be an issue with people who are in the growing pains of their life expressing those growing pains versus somebody who just attracting bullshit. So I think it depends on who their friends is.
Mhm.
What about your friends?
I feel
I
like
like
if you get on here and you automatically notice that somebody's stubbing you and talking about you, I feel like this says a lot about how much you complain. So I feel like it says a lot about that person that would acknowledge that you got a lot going on in you that you would notice that they're subbing, but at the same time I kind of feel a way about the other person as well. So nobody's right in this. I feel like with the other person, you're also out here subbing. If you're going to be a friend, then friends are open to being there for their friends when they're going through it and hearing them out and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she would be wrong to sub her if she did not say this to her face. Because I feel like if you were to say it to a person's face, like, dog, you always complaining about something, you always got something going on, you already know off the top that person finna stop coming to you about stuff. They're not finna keep coming to where they're not feeling heard at, right? So if that's the case, I feel like if the post was up and the post was a sub, that means that the person never told you how they were feeling. Anyway, so you were wrong to go on there and sub their friend and tell the world, but you didn't tell your friend. So that's shady. And then you wrong to hop on there, look at it, see that she's subbing you, and knowing that you put a lot of your weight and a lot of what you got going on onto this person in hopes of them helping you figuring out your problems. But it sounds like you could potentially be a person that doesn't see good in absolutely anything that's going on in your life. But those are my thoughts.
I like how both of y'all thought from points of the complainer and the listener. Because to me, I immediately was just like, fuck the complainer. Because I'm always the listener. And I have been that person to post in my close friends, like, shut the fuck up because I ain't got the energy today. I got my own shit. Check on your strong friends. I have been that person in the close friends list. But I only, like I said, I put it in the close friends list because that's a select group of people that I feel like won't suck my damn energy.
Mm-hmm.
I have quite a few friends where it'd be like, damn, you always got stuff going on, which is why my phone be on do not disturb with only a select few coming through. Okay, 3 o'clock, do not disturb. Okay, and I also, Jay Lee, you brought up a point where you said that you know someone who vents on social media. That is so foreign to me, like so foreign to me because I feel like at some point in time, when people post on social media, they do it for gratification or some sort of instant reaction to something. So it's like you may think, like, whenever people get on social media and they're like, transparency moment or authenticity post, it's like they're looking for some sort of validation. So to me, I've never seen anything on social. I've seen very few things on social media that have been genuine versus attention based. Like if I post something, I'll be like, I look cute. Let me stunt real quick. You know? But then personal stuff, I would never say anything. So I don't know. It's just foreign to me that people vent on social media.
Yeah, she posts crazy. Well, I want to say it's crazy stuff, but I also think this is why. I think this is why, like, this is why I'm a private person because you never want people to feel like they can judge you based on you expressing what you're going through because you don't want to feel judged. So I know for the girl who I know, I reached out to her before when I seen her post stuff, and like she is really just having a hard time with working, with issues with her husband, with issues with her kids. Like I've seen both sides of someone who's posting genuinely because they don't have many. Like her mom died. Like
they don't have no outlet.
Right. So her outlet is the people who she thinks are friends on Facebook, whatever she says, whatever. But I also seen people who post shit for attention. And for me, I can always tell the difference between, okay, you want some fucking attention versus my other friend who I'm like, I know I went and gave her money. I went and gave her because I'm like, I know how hard she has it because everybody don't have it easy. So I can tell the difference between the two because you can see what they trying to get. And anyone who like, girl, it'd be crazy. So I can tell the difference. But I've seen people like dog her. And I'm like, y'all already know that she that serious. And I'm like, I would never want it to be like we see someone crying out for help and we ignore it based on if they just want attention. It's like, no, that need some help. Okay, let me get
You're
$20
right. They could need some help.
somebody
People
who
need therapy. They need an outlet.
it's about being able to see the difference between who doing what. Some folk is on bullshit. Now, get on my fucking face. But some folk like really be needing an outlet. And I think if the pandemic and things like people are sometimes alone with their thoughts, and the only way they reach out is through social media. They don't have nobody else. So I be worried about saying fuck folk because I've seen folk, you know what I'm saying, do stuff and then it's like, oh fuck, I wish they would have knew to say some shit because they was for real. Versus they and them who want some bullshit. Man, fuck that and them. So yeah, I've seen it both ways.
Okay. So let's move on from there. All right. So this is the last of the questions. Okay. So
I can't see Bondy. Why you trying to play with me like that?
I'm gonna read it to you, my love. I'm gonna read it to you. I blew the screen up so I can read it. All right. One of the biggest lies I was ever told as a young girl is that you have to be independent. Otherwise, your man will end up leaving you high and dry with nothing. Now, as an adult, looking at the life of the woman who said that to me, independence has done her no favors. Interesting. I wonder what that means. They teach us trust no man rather than showing us how to marry the right man who would never put us in that type of situation. Please don't project your insecurities and unhealthy perceptions of men onto your daughters and other young girls simply because of the men you chose. Now listen,
that was a lot.
Let me go ahead and just say this. And this, you can tell it's coming from a young person. I almost feel like she must have the same mindset as the little young girl married to the 61-year-old man that we're going to talk about. But it to me, no grown ass woman that pays bills for real, like it's to me ever supposed to feel like this, like this. This is ignorant as fuck to me. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. My mom was married to my daddy for 20 some odd years till death did they part. Okay. He always took care of her. He always took care of the kids. He was always there. He was very dependable. Not one day in my life did she ever tell me to not take care of myself. And he did the same thing. They all taught us to be able to take care of yourself. And then through the example of having a partner that takes care of things, you know that you need to find one that takes care of things through the example. Okay. And even outside of that, sometimes people are just taught in a way that they can know what to look for in a good mate versus a bad one, especially if they haven't seen a really bad mate that's fucked up, and skewed their reality, basically. Because, people give you a fucked up reality and all of a sudden you think that stuff that's really fucked up is normal, as we've seen and we will continue to talk about today. But this kind of blew me because I feel like it's a lot of this pick-me-ass energy online that is promoting for women to be dependent upon men who, first of all, as a whole, do not seem to be able to handle the weight of that in the first fucking place. And second of all, why would anybody want to put themselves at a disadvantage to be solely dependent upon anybody? That just doesn't seem smart. Ladies?
Girl, look, I'm over here rereading this message trying to understand because I feel like it's so much to unpack. The first thing that came to my mind is you putting this off on us like this our fault. That's the first thing that's wrong with this message, as if it's women's fault. Talking about how your mom or women should have taught us how to marry the right person. You can marry the right person, so you think. And sometimes you just don't know who it is you're ending up with. So why is all that fault on the woman? Did it ever occur to you why women feel the need to have to be so independent? It's because the men are likely not showing up how they should. It wasn't that she wanted you to follow in her footsteps and get a ain't nothing ass dude. She just was trying to make sure that you're always covered. That's something that all parents are going to teach their kids, whether you're a male or you're a female. Always look out for you. You just happen to take it to the extreme for some reason. I don't understand. Now as an adult looking at the life of the woman who said that to me, independence has done her no favor. So I guess she's saying her mama being independent still landed her with what? No man, I guess she was saying. I don't know. It's a lot that's going on in this message, but the first thing that stuck out was the blame being put on the women.
The one part I see is about the biggest lie being that I guess we should not be independent. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like every human being should be independent, man or woman. Like I don't think anybody should be dependent on anyone else. At the end of the day, I'm gonna die alone. So because I can't die with someone. Like I have to be sure that I'm okay. And so I think everyone should be built off that. And when you do find someone, you build that person, that's fine. But both people should be self-sufficient before coming together. Because if I'm not self-sufficient and God forbid, something happened to me or you, we gonna have to depend on the other one anyway. So I want to be with somebody who gonna get it how they live every day. Period. But I want him to also want me to do that. Like, why would I want someone who wants me to have nothing? Why would I want someone who wants me to depend on him? That's stupid.
He said, "Get it how they live every day, every day."
My hood side come out sometimes. Y'all be sorry.
Okay, Detroit. No, what I'm getting from this girl, like all of y'all said, anybody with common sense know that men are human, women are human. Okay, you can't ever trust anybody 100%, and it's not even about you being untrusting. It's about you making sure that you're covered no matter what. Because at the end of the day, the only person you can control and really affect directly is yourself. So it sounds to me like the girl who wrote this, she's mad that somebody didn't give her a fairy tale male figure in her life. So I don't know what it is that allows her to imagine that the world is just perfect and you can find somebody to trust who would never, ever do you wrong, as if humans don't make mistakes. So this girl is living in a fairy tale. I think she need to go seek some damn therapy.
I said she was young-minded because any older woman will tell you that, first of all, they got a whole bunch of widows sitting in somebody's old folks home, meaning that even if people do stay married, that doesn't mean your husband may not up and die by accident and leave you out here without anything. So what, like, you're supposed to be dependent upon yourself so that if anything happens, like everybody has been saying, you're covered. Thank you, Amani, with your moisturized self for this super chat. Y'all, I love Amani. Her Instagram be so moisturized. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. I've never seen anybody like look so pretty shiny before. The onus is always on women to choose better, but not on men to be better. You can do all the right things and find a mate, and they can still turn out to be a sociopath. My daddy told me to be wary of men more than my mom did. Listen, so did mine. So did mine. Yep. And the thing that kills me about this whole idea is that I feel like it's very male driven. It's a mindset that I think is driven by men in an attempt to control young women. And to shape their minds at an early age to make them feel like, when older women are telling you to be independent and they're going to die alone. Let me tell you something. We come in this world alone for the most part, unless you was a twin, and you still don't come in at the exact same time. Everybody get their entrance out the vagina at a separate time. Okay. All right. So everybody's coming out the vagina one at a time. Okay. And when we leave, okay, we die by ourselves at the end of the day. It is just your soul leaving your body. It ain't your soul and somebody else's soul leave. And if that happens, great for you. Okay, everybody wants the notebook, but that's not the point. The point is, most of the time, Black women specifically outlive their husbands. Okay, so what you gonna do if your husband leaves you early? You got kids. What you gonna do? Like, I just want people to be smart about the way they think about life. And there is nothing wrong with being an independent woman and being a good partner. Because to be honest, I am a great partner. And it's because I have more to offer than cooking and fucking. To be clear, I have way more to offer a man than cleaning up behind him and fucking him. This nigga's mind is elevated because of me. I am at peace because of him. We give each other different things. But my point still remains that every woman isn't coming to the table with the same thing, but that does not mean that we should be looking at women like something is wrong with us for choosing ourselves over choosing to be with mediocre ass people who we don't, don't feel like there is a point in being with. I feel like a lot of y'all be mad at women when they choose to be by themselves or, independent, because that's what y'all call independent. Women who choose to not deal with bullshit. And it's all a mind fuck so that women will go back to dealing with abuse and cheating and kids on them and all of that crazy shit just for the sake of having a man, because we gotta have black love and all of that. And y'all know I'm for the black love, but I'm for healthy and reciprocal black love. Anything else, ladies, before we move on? All right, that's it. That's all we had. Good conversations in this bitch. Okay, listen. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. So listen. Surprise, surprise, surprise. We have an announcement. We have an announcement. We have an announcement. Are you listening? We have an announcement. The Ooh Ladies First panel will once again be reprising our role as the great interviewers that we are and interviewing your girl Kimmy from Love and Marriage Huntsville. As you guys know, the season is off the chain. The season is hitting on everything we love. It's one of our favorite, if not the favorite show to review. It really should be the last show if it wasn't for the fact that most of y'all don't have OWN, but y'all asses got Bravo. So, it is what it is. Real Housewives of Potomac must go last. But yes, y'all, Love and Marriage Huntsville is one of the favorite shows to watch. There's always something to talk about. And listen, if y'all have any questions for Kimmy, please comment and let us know. Okay, we will be going through the comments and looking at y'all's comments and seeing if y'all have any questions, and we'll probably post something on our community page. Do y'all have any questions for Miss Kimmy? Okay, because it's a lot going on this season, and honestly, I want her opinion on it. We haven't seen her as much, but I sure in the hell want her opinion on Maurice regurgitating all of her information as if he came up with it himself. Because that happened.
And Tiffany asking about Kyle while not being disrespectful.
Tisha.
Yeah,
I got you. Okay, y'all. So let me see. Where do I want to start with the gossip chat? What is this? Okay, let's start here. What's going on? Oh, check phones. We check phones. Is that what's going on? Hold up, y'all. I'm supposed to be hosting, but Jay Lee is telling me I need to check my phone. Okay. Okay. Listen, y'all. Y'all be cool by the pool, fool. All right, now y'all, let's talk about Prank and Ray J, y'all. And listen, the only reason I'm even bringing this shit up, first of all, is because Prinky got a new nice apartment in Miami and a new condo. Shit look nice. That's why this is the picture that I posted, because it looked like new life. It looked like money because we did all this shit together, but we ain't really together. It looked like beautiful children and half of your dividends, your good family name, and my life somewhere else without you, Demon Seed. That's what I'm hoping for Prank. I'm hoping that Prank is moving on from Ray J, because Ray J is toxicity at its utmost. He has not learned. He has not grown. And they're apparently divorcing for real this time. That's what they say, but then they always jump back and don't. Honestly, I think they should just be separated and not divorced. That way they can always still have everything tied together. I think they can amicably split the money, because that's the one thing I don't think Ray J is stingy about. He may go and, trademark your name for himself, but he gonna still split the money with you. So, child, what do y'all Ray J was so mad that Prank didn't come up there to the hospital to see him. What y'all think?
I think Mama Norwood is not gonna let him do that. Get her, just be generous, so generous with the money. I think he gonna have to be because she has the kids. I was thinking that the divorce was just, some BS. But when he filed for like joint custody of the kids, I said, oh, okay, so he's serious. So this is getting real. Yikes. I kind of want them to get a divorce because I'm tired of hearing about it. But when you pose the idea of them staying separated, because at some point they could come back together, I guess that wouldn't be too bad. But I feel like they was kind of already separated in their marriage anyway.
It never was a real
So-
relationship as far as I'm concerned. Like, I don't think they should stay married to be back together. I think they should stay married because of the business that they
Financial.
formed because of their
Mhm.
relationship.
I agree.
They may be better business partners once they divorce. I think that them being married, I think, is what fucks them up. I think them two as partners and a working relationship is great because they do, great things with production, but it's that marriage shit that he ain't gonna be shit. And she gonna always be upset. Like, either let him cheat in peace or divorce him. Well, now there's the divorce. But I don't know if Ray J is responsible enough to be like the parent with the kid. Like, he need a nanny, a security,
Yeah,
2
he'll
more
pay everybody
nannies.
for it.
Like, he need people with him. Where I think with Princess
Right.
is good.
Which is why is he asking for like joint custody? Like, he's asking for joint physical custody, not just joint custody, joint physical custody.
Yeah.
So
I wonder
you
if
want the
he's a-
kids 50%?
Girl, he
You don't
sound like
even see
Martell.
them 50% of the time.
I do wonder if in their private life, I do wonder if he's a hands-on dad when he's around. Like, if it's 7 days in a week, if 2 of them days he's a really good father. So for 2 days,
Not two.
for 2 days a week, he really wants them kids with him all the time. The 5 days she can have them. So I do think he may have days of where he's at full-time hands-on dad, but it ain't half the week. It's to get 2.5 days. Maybe on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and on Thursday morning around 11:30, what Prinky, come get these children. So I don't, but I'm
I
happy.
don't know.
Mhm.
I personally just feel like Ray J is a terrible father. And I say that because I'm sorry, I don't even know them people. I'm gonna tell you why I say not terrible, but this is what I mean. When you can leave and not have to worry about you don't have to worry about your phone. You don't have to, because you can trust that your wife is doing everything. So you never have to tap in at that level as a parent. Like, that's bothersome to me. And I feel like that's what he's done their whole relationship. Everything is about the look. It's not about what it really is. So he looks like a great dad, but do you really spend all of that time with your kids, or are you always in Vegas getting
2
fucked
days
up?
a week. He got them 48 hours.
You are so stupid.
That's what I think he recognized that Princess is the main parent in their marriage or in the parentship. But I never want to say that a man can't want to spend time with the kids because they divorced. I think
I'm
if
not
he's a
saying
good father
that.
2 days, give him 48 hours, give him
I'm
2
not saying
days,
he
3
can't have
cigars,
his time.
and four bottles, and then get him a little bassinet, and he good. But I think he should have him 2 days. That's it. No more than 2. The third day he drunk.
What that means is them kids gonna be with his mama those 2 days. I can't stand that niggas do that
Right.
though. And that's what I be
exactly
talking
what it is.
about. Like, you want the kids so you can drop them off by Sonya or something, and then you can still go do what you want to do. Also, you can not have to pay that girl the amount of money you really supposed to be paying her for really taking care of them kids 100% of the time, which you know is what it's always been. And I think that it's sad because I think that's the one thing. Huh?
I think she'll get paid. I
think she will, but I think it's still a way to try to pull back a little bit because he knows that he gonna have to really cut that debt because of how much of that business is Princess and Ray J. But I was just about to say, like, about the whole fathering thing. Like, it annoys me that I think that's the one thing that Freaky thought he was going to be good at. I think she thought he was going to show up as a dad because his dad was there. And to see him show up just like his dad did, which I feel like I'm there, but I ain't really there. Y'all know how a lot of Black fathers are. They'll be in the household, but they not really like synced in. They're not really glued in. And when I think about how, the daddy had another kid that he totally ignores that looked just like him because Sonya didn't like that he had that other kid and all of that type of shit. It just makes me feel like y'all have basically created a fucking monster in Ray J, and he never really feels the need to be who he presents himself as.
He is a monster. He's Martell, but with the builder's license.
With all of the licenses.
Right.
With all of the licenses.
He is a monster.
Thank you, Abby, for the super chat.
But it's weird to see how different him
and
Brandy is. It's weird to see Brandy so like, headstrong.
I don't think they are different.
I think Ray J's worse than Brandy.
I think Brandy is playing Ray J in Queens.
Nope, I'm not doing.
I think Brandy's playing Queen Latifah.
You think Brandy doing what?
Playing Queen Latifah. The whole time I was watching, I was like, if this show came out at the point in life they needed Queen Latifah for, like this would have been her role. I couldn't help but think about Queen Latifah.
I don't think Queen Latifah was ever like that. I think people think Queen Latifah is how she played Butch in movies. I think Queen Latifah
that's
was
what I'm talking about.
Dana
I'm talking about her in movies, not the rapper.
I like her characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Ray J. Just give me a check, Ray J. Pay us, okay?
Listen,
Jamie might need to have a conversation.
At the end of the day, I think that Freaky got the life of any great white woman. Okay, any great white woman that didn't have her man leave her for a younger model.
I can't.
I missed it.
Bondy must have missed the whole thing.
Yeah,
I told she said she want Ray J to give her a check, and I said JB may need to have a conversation.
Oh, we ain't messy enough for that though. We not messy enough for that, man. People think we messy, but they don't know we really not messy. We messy about shit that already is out there. The shit that we know that
we would never talk about,
Listen, Frankie about to live her best rich white lady life, and she had a tough childhood, and I'm not upset. I'm not upset. Go ahead and live your best life. You and them babies gonna be just fine. Prank. Let's go ahead and move on to Darius McCrary and Sydney Storer. So y'all know everybody been wanting us to talk about this old clout chasing ass story. Darius McCrary has been out here lying with Sydney Star for a while now. This story first came out October 2020. So this ain't the first time we didn't heard about them messing around. Recently, they put out this little video of them taking pictures and doing all of this that you see them doing right here. And she put it up there, #Family Matters, like they was going steady and they was fucking around and he was cool with it. Eddie Winslow gets online with Joyce, okay, with Mama Joyce over there, okay, Miss Harriet Winslow. Baby, it's a lie. Okay, she said it's alive in the pits of hell. That's what she said, and everybody believed it. They eating. It wasn't true. Okay, they said it wasn't true. I said, then why are you co-signing it? Because he had commented under the post like it was all good. And then as soon as everybody started speculating that he might be fucking the woman that he's kissing in this picture, in this video, then all of a sudden we was running with narratives and we needed to stop. First of all,
where did he say the pictures are coming from? What is this telling us? Where are these pictures coming from?
I'm gonna be honest.
He said it was a friend.
When I seen the first, when I seen the video of them like just posing, I'm like, they dressed like doing promotion for some BET movie.
That's why I said, what's the play? What's the movie?
Yeah. But then when I seen the video of her dancing on him, I'm like, okay, I'm going too far. It's going a little bit too far.
Do you see this second picture?
I seen that kissing one. I seen another kissing one, but I still feel, I'm like, are they both trolling us? Is Sydney trolling us? Is it her? Is it him? But I do feel like him coming out and talking with Harriet saying it's not true. I'm like, well, elaborate a little bit and just say, hey, we were shooting content for something coming out later. And even if you can't say what it is, at least we know, well, it was content. And, think about the show, The Shy. And we have the dude, Luke James, who on the show is dating a trans woman. And so they're going to kiss. So I get that. I get that some actors will, have no issue with that. The part that's weird to me is neither of them are saying what they were doing. But I still feel like this was not a couple. This wasn't some couple shit. This was a production shit. But they both aren't saying nothing about why. So I'm just confused.
Not who. First of all, I'm laughing because of the comments, but it's just, I feel like they were both cloud chasing. They was both just trying, because he was so happy he was trending. He was so happy that Eddie Winslow was trending on Twitter when everybody was talking about this.
Me and my mama said, y'all see the video of his mama? Yeah. I was like, what you get your mama involved in this for? Your mama was looking for all them Facebook shares from her friends down to the bingo hall. She was ready to be seen.
And you saw that video of him and his supposed fiance after the fact, right? So he's in a video with the fiance. He kissed the fiance, and then the fiance goes and kisses at least 2 or 3 other women in the room. I say, what the is we doing here?
It's a kissing party.
What's going on?
What's
What's
going
happening?
on?
It feels to me like Eddie Winslow ain't been right for a while now. To me, that was clear when he was messing with Superhead. I don't know if y'all remember when him and Superhead was together, but that was a whole tumultuous situation.
Did they get married and got like divorced?
Yes. And then talk bad about each other. They both was trolling us at the end of the day. But here's my thing.
They probably trolling too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They was trolling us. But what I'm saying is, it don't matter if you trolling or not. Eddie Winslow, you fucking with trans girls, and it's cool. But stop fronting.
I gotta tell y'all, it wasn't until right this second. This whole time I've been looking at this dude. His real name is Darius, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at him this whole time like, damn, I've seen him somewhere before. So I just Googled Eddie Winslow. I remember this is Eddie Winslow.
So you didn't realize that was Eddie Winslow?
That's who it was?
I didn't realize that was him.
Y'all know she young.
I didn't realize that
having
was
a young girl moment.
I was like, oh shit, that is Eddie Winslow.
Oh, Bondy, please don't have an issue with him liking trans people. They have an issue with it being Sydney. A lot of people don't like Sydney, including me. Okay.
I don't think that's what
said that?
I think they're saying, I don't think they're saying I'm saying it. I think they're saying that people don't have an issue with him liking trans girls. They just don't like that it's Sydney's old clout chasing ass. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, if that's how y'all feel, but I feel like everybody was reacting to him being with a known trans woman, period.
Yeah.
On top of that, we like, but it's Sydney, she thirsty. That's like fucking with cake stacks. Like, what you want to do that for? You know, I don't understand why a lot of these men do it.
Wasn't she on the Bad Girl Show, Bondy? The new season out just on?
What?
She was on
she was the one on Zeus.
Yeah, she was on Baddies. Yeah, she was on Baddies.
Because I haven't really seen her since she was on Love and Hip Hop, and that's when I was like, she teen too much. So I know her from being teen too much from there. But if she's still teen too much now,
she was slipping and falling all over the place, girl. It was hilarious. She kept trying to get into it with people for nothing, and then she'd end up falling. It's like, girl, your center of gravity. And then at one point, her meat was sticking out because she forgot to tuck that day, and it was just like, girl, I guess.
So she has her.
You ain't gotta worry about her
bottom half. Okay. Honey, that's a lot to deal with. I just don't know.
Listen, it's a lot. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and move on from Darius McCrary, aka Eddie Winslow, and Sydney Spore. I want Sydney Starr to get some confidence because, like, I feel like that's her problem. Like, she is so not confident, even though she swear up and down she's not. She can't keep still. She's constantly moving back and forth. Like, it's just too much manic energy. There are a lot of people out here with hella manic energy. Y'all need to go to the doctor and see if y'all need a prescription for that. Because, oh, Lord. All right. Oh, Lizzo, come on, cheeks. This is my favorite picture of her in this dress. Listen, I wanted to talk about Lizzo because people was mad. Y'all was mad that Lizzo was out here having the audacity to have her big body in a see-through dress. Okay? And listen, y'all know how I feel about it. I feel like the girl should be, first of all, ma'am, nobody can hear you.
Okay, I was saying as a resident.
Cause she started going like, first of all,
I just saw the hands.
Because I was talking as a resident big girl. Okay, let me say this. I feel like
not a resident.
As the president, but no, I feel like people get Lizzo be fucking herself up because I like the outfit. The issue I had is, as a plus size person, you're supposed to always fix your titties. Okay, you can't be walking around nowhere with your titties all about like this.
Just if you got big titties, period, you supposed to have them holes up. Because they sweat on your stomach, and then the sweat slide down your stomach, and you feel it, and you think something on you. It's terrible.
But she has to know her titties they can't be like this. They can't.
No, they can't.
They can't. Because one is uncomfortable. Okay, one is uncomfortable. And I can say that as a plus size girl. You are supposed to make your breasts are always, they're supposed to be symmetrical to whatever. They're supposed to always be, together. And if you are going to wear something see-through because it's a dance hall party, I get that. Yes, fit your titties, okay? But it's like, I feel like Lizzo be coming out here and she don't be caring, and sometimes you're supposed to care. And even if she did not want to wear a bra, she felt her titties separate. She should have brought them together because had her titties been sitting, And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not, I swear. But had she just fixed her titties to make them look presentable, it wouldn't have looked messy. She looked messy and sloppy because it looked like she was in a car and your body moves, parts move, titties move, fine. But before anyone gets out of a car or go wherever, you always fix yourself. Whether you
Right.
fix your dress, your shirt, your whatever, you
Your
make sure.
thong.
Yes. So how was your titties so just like these? And I was like, no, please fix your titties. Like, don't do that.
She didn't even have any pasties on, which I felt like was so uncomfortable because this looked like netting material, and I could not imagine that netting material rubbing up against my
It's
nipples
probably
the whole
aggravating.
night.
Yeah, it would have been
Oh
itchy.
my God,
I agree with
y'all.
you 100%, Jay Lee. I mean, okay, listen. And I see both sides because initially I saw this picture of Lizzo, right? When it first came out. And I was like, dang, she looked cute.
I was
Like
this is the
that was
best one.
that was my first thought. Like she looks cute. And then people compared it to the Rihanna pictures, still using this picture of Lizzo. And I was like, yeah, people just body shaming, right? Then I seen the picture from the front and I was like, oh,
They was
that's
like
the
these.
difference. That was the difference.
They got
It
like this.
wasn't anything to do with the hips, the booty, the ass, the stomach. It was nothing to do with like that. The difference was this. But free the nipple, they say.
I actually have not seen Lizzo's outfit, so I'm over here trying to like Google like what the hell does it look like to really know what people over here complaining about. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
look for the one from the front.
Yeah, I
You see
couldn't
one from the
post it
front?
because I didn't
Yeah,
feel
the
like
I
titties
see
was
it
out.
now.
and I would have to edit it
Yeah.
and all of that.
I see now. For Lizzo's outfit, in all honesty, I don't mind what Lizzo has on because I think that people that are heavier set gotta embrace their body just like these slimmer people are. A lot of times these smaller women walk out, we don't say nothing, but when a bigger person does, it's a problem. My thing with Lizzo is this: if you're gonna step out and you're gonna be confident in whatever you're wearing, carry that all the way. Because we've seen where Lizzo has gotten on social media and she's whined and she's cried about how she was perceived to people, but everything you do is like, I guess, for shock value, right? You wanna capture the attention or whatever. So once you get what you get, don't cry about it. Just step into it and own it, because people gonna have an opinion, negative and positive. That's just how it is. I think she should just own that all the way around. As far as her breasts being separate though, I mean, I feel like that's how they are. Like, I mean, what did y'all
You gotta
want her to
fix your
do to
titties.
like?
Y'all
You
got
gotta
me
pull them.
thinking about
They gotta
whenever
just
Portia
be
said
So she should have
your
just like
titties is social
push.
distancing.
Yes, you gotta push them in. You gotta push them in because they
I
were
wonder how she would have
sideways.
did that with this dress. That means she
Because
should have just probably wore a bra underneath
no,
it.
not even have them be like up and together. But when you lay down your
Oh,
boots up,
pick them up, lift them up, and move them over.
boom,
She couldn't
and
pick
and,
up
and,
Okay.
in that
and
dress
have them
though.
sit how they sit because they gonna sit how they sit. But I'm like, you know, they her titties, her breasts look like she was riding the car. There was wherever she got the car and walked in, and she did not try to. I'm trying to be so nice. She did not try to fix herself in any kind of way. And I do feel like as women, usually when because she knows gonna be cameras everywhere because you're going to Cardi B's dance hall party. So why not make sure you're putting your best foot? They gonna talk about you. Your titties was out. It was a nice outfit. Because everyone was dressed. Everyone was dressed that way. She got the most attention because she's Lizzo and she's plus size. But everyone there was scantily clad. It was fine. But my thing was, bitch, fix your titties. That was my only issue. And in my review, I said, "Oh, her titties are just freely,
So
separate."
I I and I feel the same way. I really do, because I feel like I'm not bothered by the stomach situation and all of that. Like, honestly, that's why I picked this picture, because I feel like this is the picture that gave it the justice. Like, I was like, she looked really good here. Her makeup and her hair, like, she just looked really pretty. And I like that dress. I like the color. I like the way it looked on her skin. Her booty looked good. But at the end of the day, saggy titties is not cute in this society. I'm sorry. It may be cute in other places, but where we live at, saggy titties is not a thing. I'm sorry. And I wish
I didn't mind the saggy titties. I don't mind them being saggy. I just want them to be
I feel
together.
no
Well,
way
see, that's the thing. That's
about
what
what
that
Leo
is.
doing.
You
That's
can't be
what,
saggy
that's why
and
they're
separate.
sagging.
Y'all know
That's
what
that
made
is,
them
though.
look
No.
asymmetrical. It wasn't the actual titties. I feel like what made them look unsymmetrical is the nipple covers were.
Did she have on nipple covers? Because I thought
Okay,
I
She
saw
did.
she
nipple.
didn't.
I looked at
Oh,
it. She
did
did
she?
have on nipple covers, and they were
They must have slid
her
off by the
titties were
time we saw her.
so. She had them. Her
God
titties were so
damn it,
big
Bonnie.
that
I meant
you know the
that.
nipple covers are a perfect circle, and when she was walking, one of the circles would be like a hemisphere because her titties was tucked. So I think the nipple covers drew more attention to the
God damn it, Sean.
unsymmetry
Girl, I
than
got
the
boob
titties
tape right
themselves.
here. I have
But this
boob
is
tape
it.
right here because I
Her
wear a
tit.
triple D bra, no
But
matter
see, her
what my
titties is
body
her
size
titties.
is. And I'm never gonna feel comfortable with walking outside with my like in an outfit, like especially not going to Cardi B's birthday party. I don't give a fuck what the theme is. If them titties not sitting up, them titties not gonna be out. If they not up,
See,
they not out.
because I don't
That's just
mind her
me.
titties not being in a bra, but I still feel
That would
like
have
you can
helped.
still true. But if you're not gonna wear no bra, if you're not gonna wear no
They need to
bra,
look like Rihanna's titties, like just
no, no,
sitting
no,
up.
no, no. They need no, not even set up. They needed to be together. Her titties were
How
separately.
are they going to be together if they're
In
not up?
that outfit.
Okay, so
I mean, in this
when you at home, when you take your bra off, you lay down. You lay down. Your breasts go which way. They just move around. They whatever. So she looked like she was laying down. Her boobs went which way. She got up, and they were still going which way. And she did not. She didn't do this. She didn't do like, okay, let me make sure they're
But the
sitting
way
up.
that dress was set up, it wasn't form fitting. It was loose.
Yeah,
So
but
it was so
they still
because
could
she
have
has
been.
more
They could have been
stomach,
like this.
then because she has more stomach, her
It could have been
stomach
like
is
this though,
going to
Bonnie.
create the
It was like
separation with her titties.
they were like these though, Bonnie. I want to be like this.
But you know how like when you moving and you walking and like you might
You
turn
keep,
around and the
yeah,
titty get
keep
over
fixing your
here and then
titties.
it be right there because it's hot,
You
so it's like
you
sitting
do
right there.
this. You do
Yeah,
this.
the titties, but that's why I said she needed a bra not only to catch the sweat, but to lift and
Somebody
bring
said they
together.
brought a harness. Not your bra, a harness. What?
I mean, I just feel
No, I'm in the
like a
comments.
bodysuit, even like if she would have had on a new bodysuit, that's what I thought would have set that whole look completely off. Because I feel like no matter what your size is, people like for you to look neat. That's really what it's
It
about.
didn't look neat. It
It
didn't look
didn't look
neat.
neat, and people like for you to look neat, and then that's just what it is. Like
She
I'm
looked
sorry.
neat, but she looked good right here. Again, because I think at
Yes,
this point in
Right.
time, she fixed her body to look good in the picture. Because you
right.
people you pose for a
You
picture.
pose
Your
for you
hair,
exactly. She know how to kick
She
that ass
posed
pose
for that.
off. Okay, you put that foot out and you
She should
turn.
have thought about posing, getting out the car and walking with titties
Yeah, they probably
like
caught her
this.
walking. They caught her
It was
walking.
like,
The titties was facing the ground. It wasn't
yes,
a
you gotta
good
just
move.
fix your titties. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Look,
And listen, y'all. I hate my titties. I want y'all to know this, okay? I don't like them. Oh, I hate them. I don't like them. They too big. I don't want these big ass titties. Honestly, I want to get a reduction, but I don't want to get cut on in any type of way if I don't have to. Because I feel like I just never know if I'm a keloid or not. I don't have time for that. So anyway, y'all, you just never know what the scar high is gonna heal, what's gonna look like. Like, no, I don't want to get cut in if I don't have to. So saggy titties, it is. Okay, I'll be taping these titties until kingdom come. All right, y'all. So let's move on. Dr. Dre, y'all, this shit was like gutter as fuck to me. Okay, Yahoo News says that's another level of evil. Dr. Dre allegedly served documents at his grandma's funeral. All right, I'm about to read it to you what they said. Dr. Dre's divorce proceedings just took what many are calling the sickest turn yet. According to gossip and entertainment news website, of course, TMZ always gets it first. Okay. An unidentified source claims the Beats Entertainment founder, whose real name is Andre Young, was served legal documents regarding his divorce from his estranged wife, Nicole Young, more specifically records pertaining to Young's attorney fees, which he was tasked to having to pay, right? He got to pay those. So she must have been sending him the bill. The incident allegedly took place on Monday while the 56-year-old was laying his grandmother to rest. Sources say the server, who was sent on behalf of Young, walked up to Dre, who was reportedly standing right next to his loved one's casket and attempted to hand him the documents. Child, he was enraged. The witnesses say he refused to take the paper due to the nature in which they were presented. However, representatives for Young, a former lawyer, denied those reports, telling the outlet that the hip-hop mogul was served in the parking lot after the burial. Still, many critics on social media found the action to be insensitive, including one Twitter user who described that incident as the sickest shit ever, only seen on movie type shit. Listen, girl, you know, that's the first thing that came to my head. I was like, sicker than him beating all the women in his life, child, go to hell. Another person condemned the incident, saying no matter what Dr. Dre did, and I know he did some grimy stuff in his life, I'm not ignoring that. The only thing he did not deserve is to be served divorce papers as at a loved one's. They're already divorced at a loved one's funeral. That's another level of evil I can't comprehend. I feel like it takes one to know one. I feel like if you married her, it's because you saw yourself in her. I feel like I don't give a fuck where you are. Catch these papers.
I think it was smart because how often Dr. Dre is out and about, you know, somewhere,
right.
And I think that's the thing.
You don't really catch that nigga nowhere.
Yeah, most process servers. Yeah, most process servers have to find the person when they're out. So I think they probably knew he's not out often at all because he had people to do things for him. So as long as they didn't like go up to grandma and say, "Hey, grandma, give me the papers." I mean, what you gonna do?
They could have served him at some basketball games he be at. He stayed at the basketball games.
Okay, I don't see Dre out nowhere. I don't see Dre. I don't know Dre, but I do feel like, look, I'm gonna catch you when I can catch you. I think if people were not ducking and dodging, getting served, they would not have to find you somewhere. You know that you're going through divorce. You're trying to hide yourself to not get served, whatever, because you're going to court regardless. So if you're gonna hide from me, I'm gonna find you where I can find you. And that ain't her fault. The process server people did that, not her. She just hired them to serve him. They find out where to do it at. That ain't on her. That's on the people who do the business. But I was there. Serve him. Give him papers.
You know, whenever you were telling the story, I couldn't help but smile because I feel like no woman in her right mind would do this. And it was given very much Diary of a Mad Black Woman when she had him in that tub. What was she saying? She was like, you hungry? Come eat, just looking at him. That's her serving these papers to him. So I feel like, you know, ain't no woman gonna do this out of nowhere. They have a history we don't know about. So I don't really feel too bad for him.
I don't feel bad at all. And I think anybody that does feel bad for him is wasting their fucking feelings.
I agree with Jay Lee about it's not the wife's fault. She just put in the court stuff. It's up to those individuals to find them. I do think removing Dr. Dre from it is fucked up to serve anybody during the time of, you know, of funeral event, right? I feel like Dr. Dre around, they could find him. They found him for the other court proceedings that they've had. They could have found him in other places. We found him out with April Jones on more than one occasion. They could have found that man. I feel like they did that for it to be a story. They served this man at this lady's funeral, whether it was a graveside or in the parking lot. They served him, and I feel like they did that to make a big story about it, just as his divorce and all the other court proceedings have been a big story. But me just removing Dr. Dre from it, I feel like that was foul as fuck for anybody to receive that.
They was doing. I can serve all your paperwork. Hire us. We get them wherever they at. Okay, at funerals, at weddings, at birthday parties, at bar mitzvahs.
That's true.
Hire our services because we caught Dr. Dre at
Imagine Dr.
Oh, messed up,
never mind. I'm about to go. Never mind. Say his face. Never mind.
Oh, our cold words. We have to sometimes just calm ourselves down. We'll say crazy shit.
I'm gonna need for whatever you was about to say to end up in them fucking.
Right, it is.
So please go write it down right now so you do not forget. Thank you.
OMG.
Y'all know what I said. I do understand what you mean, Jamie. If you take Dr. Dre away from this situation, I would feel like, yeah, that's messed up. But at the end of the day, it's just the papers for him to pay for the lawyers. They already divorced. He know he had to pay for the lawyers. It's not like this is some hit to the chest, but it's somebody making you have to handle work when you're at a personal matter. And how many times have you had to do that over the past 30 years? So I just kind of feel like everybody wants to act like this is a bigger deal than it really is. It's not like he's surprised. You're already divorced. You know you gotta pay her lawyer's fees. You're probably ducking and dodging paying them hoes, which is why they had to catch you like that in the first place. Okay? Because if it was easy to run up on you, they would have caught you outside the Walgreens. But it ain't that easy. Okay? They're not gonna do that to just everybody because everybody ain't gonna be a recluse with security. And honestly, anytime he was seen with April Jones, I feel like that was a setup. Like you was seen because you wanted to be seen. We ain't never seen you nowhere doing a motherfucking thing this whole time. Dre been famous for a long time, and the only time we ever see Dre is I feel like when Dre wants to be seen in his sweatpants looking good.
But you know what's funny? When I was looking for, like, when I look for photos for him to do stuff, whatever, I realized him back in the day and him now is such a different look because we haven't really seen him over the years. So I'm like, is that Dr. Dre? Is that like I'm like, is that?
He's a musclehead now.
Yeah,
he was a fat boy back in the day.
It's weird. It's so fucking weird to see him. I'm like, damn, we haven't seen him so much that I'm like, is that the nigga for real?
Him and Cube was kind of around the same type of body type back in the day. And, you know, Cube is still around that same type of body type with slightly less belly. Okay, we see you, Cube. You look healthy. You know, but yeah, he definitely looks different now, like with all of the muscles in his face. Like, I'm like, this nigga got muscles in his face.
But what's crazy is he's a billionaire. So, like, why are you even... She should not have to even ask to pay for this.
Like, just pay the shit. You should have paid it. You should have wrote a check as soon as they said that you had to pay that shit. You got the money.
That's the crazy part. I'm like, she should even have to go through all that.
You know he being vindictive by even making her go through that because you know you're going to have to pay it eventually. So you're going to make them run and look for you and all that. So she going to have to keep paying them people to come look for you.
Because you rich. You have the money.
Right.
Pay it, pay her, get her out your life, and then fuck all the hoes you want to for free.
Let me say something because I seen some shit in the comments that bothered me. Let me tell y'all something. I don't give a fuck how Michelle put her hands on Dr. Dre first. I don't care. Dr. Dre is a big ass man that is known for punching women half his size in the face. Do you know how much hatred towards women that it takes for you to punch a woman in the face? That's like me punching a kid or a baby in the face. You know how many times kids that made me want to punch them in the face and I could never do it because they're smaller than me, because they're weaker than me, because that would be abuse. But y'all out here making excuses for the grown ass thick neck nigga with muscles in his face that's a billionaire? Come on, man. Miss me. He's exactly who we think he is. He's just super duper talented. And we love some of the toxic, fucked up music that he's giving us to bop and smoke our weed to. Okay? Deal with it. Everybody ain't a great guy because you like their song. California love. All right. So... hold up. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that was the last one of the gossip. So this is another gossip topic, even though it's not about any real person, child. But I know y'all have seen this because all of the ladies, okay, except for Necey and I, have basically talked about this on our channels. I mean, you may have seen us discuss it, period. But this is a 61-year-old man laying on top of 18-year-old girl to do his business, like the color purple. Okay. The only difference is that this little girl lives in 2021 when she can get on social media and tell everybody to eat out of her ass because they have noticed that this grandpappy has decided to once again lay on top of her and do his business. From what I understand, Jay Lee, and I got this from watching your video, I think it was your video. But at one point the young girl had ran away. And we think that she ran away because she got into a fight with him because she might have been messing around with a little young kid her same age and he got upset about it and kicked her out. So she had to go over to her mom's or some shit like that. You muted.
Muted.
The mama said that was what happened 3 weeks before they got married. The old man and the girl. It's just,
So listen, I'm gonna play a little bit of what the little girl said and then what her mother said because there are huge comparisons here. Okay, as much as this little girl seems to be doing this as an act, I mean, honestly, as an act of rebellion, looking for structure and stability that she never got in the household. Her mother was a drug addict. Her mother proclaimed so many times that she snorted a lot of powder, and we wanted to tell her, bitch, crack is not powder. But whatever you want to tell yourself, your skin look good even after all you've been through, bitch. Your teeth may not look good, but your skin does. Okay, it's very toxic. And the thing that's so sad about it is because everybody's ignorant. The mama is ignorant, even at her age, even with her spirituality and telling everybody she gonna do hoodoo and voodoo on them, bitch. Spirituality does not help everybody progress emotionally and mentally, because the truth of the matter is, if you had progressed, you would have way less vitriol in your apology to your children. At one point in the video, she says, I didn't already apologize, and ain't a motherfucker gonna make me apologize again, And I'm like, there's no real apology in that. There's no real I'm sorry in how you are expressing yourself to the child that not only did you fail once she got here, but bitch, you did drugs while you was pregnant with her, and you mad at her for not mentally making good decisions at this point? And you did drugs while she was in your fucking womb? Like, the ignorance is ridiculous. But this is how people really be. This is how people really be. Y'all think this shit is a game. Y'all got Kevin Samuels telling y'all men ain't predators and we making it up. And then here you go, another physical, visual example of an old ass man who probably is too slow to be with a woman his own age, so decides to be a predator and fuck with a child that he can control. And a child is so mind fucked at this point because he's been doing this to her, grooming her for so many years. She doesn't know, and she's young. We didn't know when we was her age neither. It's sad, but we're gonna hear what the little girl got to say. But I want y'all to keep in mind she a child. I want y'all to keep that in mind no matter how y'all feel about somebody being 18. 18 just makes you a legal adult. It don't make you grown.
Go on my shit because some ignorant ass hoes got me fucking blocked for 30 days. So I'm in Facebook jail right now. But since y'all want to go on his page, we just gonna settle this shit now. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with this shit and let y'all little ignorant ass, no class ass hoes talk after this shit. Me and my husband, we're married. Me and my husband ain't going nowhere. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give two fucks at that, not even one, about y'all opinions. Y'all on here talking about, oh, I'm just stating my opinion, I'm just stating my opinion, I'm just stating. It don't mean shit to us. So why the fuck waste your time and energy and your motherfucking time out of the day and your life to sit up here and keep on saying it that's your opinion. We don't care. At the end of the day, everything is done. We're legally motherfucking married. I'm 18, I'm grown now. Talking about, oh, you just a baby. I'm 18, bitches. I moved out my mama's house when I was 16. 16. Fucking 16. What did I do? Get a job. Pregnant and all, working. Pregnant. Fucking working. At 16 with no motherfucking body. I ain't had nobody. My mama was a druggie. Nobody. Never had nobody. I'm not saying this to have no sympathy or looking for sympathy. Nobody sympathizing with me. This is not what it's for. I'm just letting y'all know that I don't give a fuck about y'all opinions. It don't mean shit to me. It don't, because at the end of the day, everybody have a life to live. Okay, so what? He's 46, not 50. Thank you. He's 46. Half of y'all motherfucking mammies, he probably fucked half of y'all motherfuckers.
He's 61.
He probably fucked your mammies. And you got y'all daddies mad, and some of y'all motherfuckers mad at him because he on his shit and we both on our shit. And the fuck, y'all just mad because I'm happy. That y'all always gonna be happy. No, y'all hoes thought that I wasn't never gonna be shit because of my past. That's what the fuck y'all thought, and I proved y'all wrong. That's why y'all hoes really mad. But at the end of the day, that shit ain't even working, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do me. We gonna do us. I'm gonna continue wear this motherfucking rock on my finger, and I don't give a fuck what a bitch gotta say. I don't. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna live my life. I'm going to live my life to the fullest. We only have one life, and that's what y'all fail to realize. Wake the fuck up. How about that? Wake the fuck up. And I don't give a fuck about all that laughing ass shit, because at the end of the day, y'all
Not how about that.
Y'all ignorant for y'all to say, oh, you young and this and that. Okay, yeah, I'm young. So why would I want to be, just because I'm young, why would I want to be with if I got, my mind is more mature than being with a motherfucking young ass nigga. Why would I want to be with a young ass nigga and motherfucking, he want to lay and play? He don't know shit.
You could tell. I'm about to tell you, girl, you could tell he told her that.
Well, a young nigga is even worse than a young female. Why the fuck would you think
A young nigga not gonna, have you melting into his belly fat while you're fucking him, but whatever.
Don't want to do that. Why the fuck would I want that? That's not what I want. I don't want that. I want to be with a nigga that know what the fuck he want in life. I want to be with a nigga that got stacked up his bread. I want a nigga like that. I don't want a nigga that want to go be with this. And half of them niggas, y'all.
All right. That's enough of that because she about to say some stuff that's gonna make me upset.
Ooh, poor
Because then she
baby.
start, right?
Poor
Because then she start,
baby.
bringing other people into the situation. I was like, no, let's not do that. Let's focus on the grown man who wants to be with an 18-year-old who obviously was with her before that.
Right, because hence she said, I'm grown now. Like she had been waiting on this moment to talk. I'm married now. Okay, but what about when
I'm
you were
married
16?
now.
I was laughing because how fast it was going. I'm like, it was chipmunk speed up talking. That was funny to me.
Yeah, I didn't want us to have to sit through that shit for too long.
It was
No,
she talked a
good.
whole lot. It was like the whole video. You can tell that one, he groomed her, and then for two, you can also tell that she wants to be with him because she's young and dumb, and she see no issue what he did, and that's the
Mhm.
bad part. And I think her keeps saying like, "I'm 18, I'm grown." You're not grown, mama, because you are a child still, and you not knowing how bad it is shows how much you're a child. And it's like my issue isn't only her age; it's the fact that's your godfather. So you should know
Girl.
that he should have never looked at you in that way.
And
My
who
thing
made him
is,
the godfather? Who
It's
did it?
given Marcus
I don't
Houston
know.
and his wife.
No, I think, but see, Marcus Houston ain't that old. That's bad,
Well,
yeah.
he dated his supposed best friend's daughter. His wife calls Chris Stokes her dad, and he
Who,
was dating
who
her
wife?
before she turned
Marcus
Marcus
Houston's
Houston's
wife.
wife.
He married like an 18-year-old girl, right?
He was dating her before she was 18. He was
Mm-hmm.
like 30, well into his
He's like
30s.
38, 37, 38, something like that.
Right. And he dated
Really?
her
Yeah, you
with
ain't know
her
that?
father's approval. He was essentially like a family friend. And then they went public when she turned 18. This is what this is
Mm-hmm.
given to me.
Either way,
Mm-hmm.
that's too damn old, and something is wrong. To me, something is wrong with any grown person that wants to be with a teenager. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Like, it's cute. Y'all think it's cute because, they be all young and all of that. And hey, some relationships I feel like are genuine at the end of the day. Just because somebody young, they don't necessarily mean it's a bad thing every time. But, especially if you're of legal age, you know what I'm saying? You 18, 19, 20, you dating somebody 22, 23, 24. I feel like that's not a big deal. But when I see a
Right, because he in his
61,
60s.
like a 61-year-old man with an 18-year-old girl, this brings me straight back to Color Purple, grooming young women. Let me get a young girl while she's young so that I can build her to be exactly what I want her to be and control her mind. It honestly reminds me of what I think Kirk did to Rashida, but I'll let it go. Even though, because people act like a 10-year difference is not that, not as bad. But to me, a 28-year-old man with a 19-year-old girl is crazy. Because at 28, I didn't want to be with no 19-year-old. I don't give a fuck. If you can't drink, we can't date. What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I feel like this is so sad to me, y'all. But we gonna press on. Hold up, let me read Tina super chat. She sound like Azriel on that first. Yes, Tina. I thought that when I was watching it. She sounds like Azriel Clary on that first Gayle King interview, mad and screaming what that man done told her. You can hear the brainwashing statement like lay and play. Yes. You can also hear that she is just repeating the things that she has heard her mother say too. You can tell. Because what have you been through at 18, girl? What have you been through?
But
I'm about to pull it up.
they also saying because one, the 2-year-old supposed is not his. So that's one.
Right.
And she don't have 4 kids. He has 3 kids. She has
She
one.
has one, right?
So she has one child. They together is 4 children between the two of them.
All
It's
right.
still fucked up, but still.
Right. It's still fucked up. It's still fucked up. But it's still, I guess because people might assume that her child might be his as well, even though they deny it. I personally feel like even if you didn't get pregnant by him, he was still having relations with you before you were of legal age. And I think even at 18, you're too young to be laying up underneath a 61-year-old man so he can do his business on you. Because that's how I
What
see
you think, Jamie? Jamie ain't said nothing yet. What you think, girl?
I just feel like everybody has failed her. I feel like her community has failed her as well as her parents. Her mom said in a separate video that he got a child by her cousin.
Right.
So you know, not only did the mom engage in sexual activity with him, the mama was not dating him. She was smashing him. I guess he was like a trick or whatever, because she needed money so that she can go and get high or do whatever it is that she does. But it's sad that he's been around the family and he's been able to get away with so much. And it kind of speaks to how it is in the family, I guess, or like with family friends, when individuals are out here molesting kids and then the kids speak up to you and tell you what's going on, y'all kind of shy away. In this instance, I feel like a lot of the family was privy. They were aware. They saw it with their own two eyes, but they chose not to address it and just let it be what it is. And I feel like for a mom, you know, I don't think she should, like, don't be disappointed in your daughter because this is what you guided her to. Ultimately, I feel like if you've never been a mom before, you should be a mom now, and you should make sure that charges are pressed against him accordingly for violating your daughter. I feel like this could have been going on at a long time. Y'all know the young lady went missing at like 14 years old. That's what her mama said. Mike was even searching for her.
Her mom
Found her
said she beat her.
eventually. Yeah, she said that.
Which makes me think, you know, you found out she was with a man or something, and that's why you beat her.
Exactly, because she said she beat her like her, I think she said like her hot ass or whatever, like a 14-year-old that she is or whatever.
Exactly.
Shortly after that, the young lady, she moved out at the age of 16. So it's like Mike has been privy. It's pictures. What's cringing for me? This baby was like a toddler when he took pictures with her.
Ooh.
And then now here it is. She's 18 and you married to her, but you was messing around with her prior to that. Like, I just, it's just, girl, it's sad. It's just cringeworthy for me. He needs to go to jail, period.
So let me play the video of the mom and, you know, we'll give our final thoughts and be out of this terrible ass subject. All right.
So, this was it, right? I'm gonna lie. So, my daughter and my husband got married, right? I don't approve of that stupid ass, cartoon ass shit, and that's what the fuck I said. I ain't even go to that fuck ass shit, right? You know, I fucked your ass in 2017 in my family in the motherfucking LP when you was coming over there hard. Anybody who know me knows I stayed over y'all seen that fake ass nigga the fuck over there. Okay? For a cell phone, $150. Okay? I was looking at family dollar and I need some extra money. So that's what that was about. I told this thing, and then when she ran away when I stayed over there with my oldest daughter in Jacksonville, Mike was the main one. Somebody said, "God, y'all help me find her." Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember when I whooped Deja's ass in that kitchen room? Like a 14-year-old little girl she was. Yeah, y'all remember that shit. So, with that being said, that is my last time. Her name really is Deja Evans. Like Deja Evans, mine. She just got adopted in 2016, right before I came home. Okay, by Ashley Jackson, white chick. All right, so, with that being said, Deja doesn't remember when she was little. She don't remember when she was with me. I lost my kids to DCL. Like y'all know, I used to stop packing, sold a lot of motherfucking drugs. Whooped a lot of ass, went to jail a lot. I was young and wild as fuck. I don't apologize, and I'd be goddamn if I apologize in a motherfucking moment. But bitch, you said you married Mike because you need stability. Okay, so your son, your stepson, my little cousin, your little cousin, yeah, he didn't know whether to call you his godmama or his motherfucking god. I mean his stepmama, his god sister. I say she your god sister or your stepmama or your cousin. He said she my god sister and my cousin. No, my stepmama and my cousin. No, but he said my stepmama and my god sister. That's it. So all this shit what they putting up, all this shit with Mike and all that, let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. Because first of all, I'm a real motherfucking witch, bitch. If I want to get you, I get you. Please don't sleep, okay? I ain't got
Child, enough. We've had enough.
They're from Florida.
Child, you know
this
it.
explains the whole story.
What you mean? Of course they're from Florida. Where? But the thing about it is, this happens all over.
Yes.
And another thing I want to mention before y'all, you know, jump in, and I'm gonna let y'all have it. This is not just Black people, y'all, because I've seen a lot of commentary on this topic, and a lot of people really frame this and, oh, this is what happens in a Black household. They allow the predator to stay and be around. This happens in all households that allow this type of shit. White people do this. I'm sure other people, Latino people and Asian people and everybody else that has predators in their ethnicity and nationality group have households and families that will rather hide this than deal with it and cast out the people who perpetrate and basically make prey out of your fucking kids and shit. Y'all would rather ignore it than deal with it, and I don't understand why. But I absolutely feel like y'all, it's a lot of this misogynistic shit. This a lot of this, you know. It's okay as long as we're upholding the man in some type of way. Like, I don't know what that's about. But it's sad to see so many people blame children, because I feel like the mom was like blaming her child for the way she came out. It's like, ma'am, you were not there. You were not there, ma'am. You smoked a lot of fucking powder. That's what you said. How you feel like you were present enough to make Deja a well-rounded young lady so she would know not to choose a nasty old man as somebody to lay up under and allow him to control her life moving forward, because that's what he's gonna do until his ass, crawl over and die. And hopefully he got insurance so she'll get something from it. Go ahead, y'all.
You know how you said this happens in other nationalities. The first thing that came to my mind whenever you pulled up this story was Abducted in Plain Sight, the documentary from a couple years ago with those white people doing it with their daughter. They literally had whatever they had going on, that they did not care what was going on with their daughter, literally handed their daughter to a child predator.
Right.
And he
in
took
a
her to
trailer.
Mexico to try to marry her.
Out into the woods, right?
Yes, he took her multiple times. He kidnapped her more than once. Her parents did not have the capacity to care. And like you said, it's something that happens everywhere. But what's mostly sad about this situation is that the young girl, her standards are set based on what her mom showed her. So she feels like, as long as I have a household, regardless of if my man is 45, 55, or 61, she thinks that she's doing better than her mama, who was on drugs and they have custody of her own kids. So that whole situation is sad.
Very sad.
It's some bullshit.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, it's some complete bullshit.
I'm just reading, putting some of the comments on the screen that are basically saying they've seen this shit in other cultures as well, Middle Eastern and Vietnamese, and, saying Jeannie Mai dealt with this. Thank you, Tracy Baby, for the super chat. This is so sad. She's a product of her environment. Y'all gonna get off Florida. Listen, when stuff stops happening in Florida, we'll get all Florida. Tell Florida about it. Don't tell us, okay? Because everybody that do crazy shit somehow end up being where? In Florida.
The stories say Florida man. It's actually a challenge on social media where you type in Florida man and then the day you were born and see what crazy story pops up.
Ooh. I should definitely do that.
Yeah,
we should definitely do that. All right. So y'all know what y'all can do before we get into the TVT portion of our show. Y'all need to go ahead and like this video. All right. Okay. So now y'all like the video. We hope y'all did that. We also hope that you will follow us on all of our different social media platforms. Okay. You can follow me at Bondy Blue on everything. Follow all of us at the Ooh Ladies First Panel on Instagram. Email us. Okay. Because y'all always talk about Bondy. When you going to do MF and advice? You know what? Write the Ooh Ladies First Panel and maybe we can get y'all, all of our perspectives. Okay, so follow me at Bondy Blue. Follow Jami at Jami ThatsMe. Follow Jay Lee at Jay Lee's Corner on YouTube and Twitter, because we're all on there talking. And then follow J_Lee's_Corner on Instagram. And then lastly, but certainly not leastly, follow Necey at Necey Dixon. Okay, so follow us right now. Okay, right now. And let's go ahead and move on into the TVT of it all. All right. Okay, so new show alert. So you guys, I felt like this is what we have been waiting for, to have a show like this, which is giving us empire, giving us star, but giving us upgraded. You know what I'm saying? It's not Tyler Perry, it's Swiss Beats. You know what I'm saying? We're here for it. So basically, a little quick breakdown of Queens. If you did not know, Queens comes on ABC. I believe it is what is it? Tuesday nights, you guys? Tuesday nights at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so it is a group from the 90s, 1999, called Nasty Bitches. I was like, y'all would have never named yourself that, but okay. Nasty Bitches have come together, have rejoined as a group in 2021 because a new poppin' star, Lil Muffin, aka Saweetie, okay? Like she is a TV version of Saweetie who can really rap though. Lil Muffin then sampled they song, like a lot of these artists tend to do. They don't have a hit until they sample a 90s song, and now they got a hit on their hands. Shout out to Jacquees and Saweetie, now that I think about it. But anyway, okay, and it's so fun because we all know Notori, Brandy, and Eve were all popping in 1999. Okay, so this is great. But all of them have moved on. Okay, Brandy's character Naomi, aka Explicit, is the real talent of the group, but she's also a deadbeat mom who was in love with their manager. She has her issues. She's been chasing fame. The Latina lady Valeria, okay, also Butter Pecan, she obviously has ridden on the coattails of the more talented homegirls. And she had somewhat fame, but she ended up getting fired from her TV hosting gig because she put drugs in a racist white lady's coffee mug. And then the racist white lady went on a racist white rant on television. And then she was seen on camera switching the coffee mug. So she got fired. And here we are, you know, with her feeling like, oh, I thought I was better than y'all, but I actually need y'all. And then Eve. Eve is Brianna. Also, what they call her, the sex doctor. She used to be a hoe. And she admitting it because she did the shit, and now she got 5 kids with an old cheating ass nerdy teacher dude that got cancer on her after she found him fucking some young white girl in their bed. Okay, so she couldn't even fully be mad at him. Now she has to nurse him back to health and leave him after the fact. I would leave him for dead, as Mama D would say. And then we have Notorious character Jill the Thrill. Jill the Thrill takes a special liking to Lil Muffin because they both share a coke habit. Okay, Lil Muffin ended up ODing during the episode, and Jill the Thrill definitely took her under her wing after that because she used to have a coke problem as well, but she's a lesbian. She was a closeted church lesbian at that, child. We met her in a confessional praying about her lesbianism, but by the end of the episode she was rapping about how she loved the punani. So all in all, everyone's going on a tour. It's going to be a good time had by all. It's really good music. There's some good rap solos and freestyle circle ciphers and songs, and Brandy made me cry at the end of the episode with an acoustic guitar song. It's just great. Ladies, your opinion?
You said it all. I ain't got nothing else.
Sorry, I was trying to hurry up and run it, and then y'all can
No,
tell
you
me
good.
too.
I just got 2 points for me. The first one is Nadine. I'm interested in knowing, like, where did they find her? As an actress, she does great. When it comes to dancing and performing with the group, she's off a bit. Like, she doesn't really fit. Especially, I want to know, like, does she have a musical background since all of
that
the
the
other
Latina girl?
individuals? Yeah,
She's an
Valeria.
actress. I Googled
Yeah.
it today because I had the same question, Jamie. No music background from what I saw.
That's why. So she's great with acting, but when it's performing, I see that she's off. The other ladies got it. She needed some work, but I mean, hey,
She can't rap.
congrats
She
to
can't
her.
rap.
She
rap.
can't perform, like just dancing on the guys and doing little 2 steps. She was like off a beat, and I was like,
But I guess they casted her right because she was the weakest link of the group.
well, there it is.
There's that.
The other thing that I wanted to highlight was Eve. I love me some Eve. And to see her in her element when they were in the circle practicing and she was just doing her raps and I was like, I miss you so much. Like in the actual music industry. So I'm really happy to see her on my TV screen for sure.
Girl, I love when
think
all
it's the
of us.
first.
I'm sorry, I just want to say I just love when all of us have things in common like that. Cause like Eve was my girl. That was the first album I ever bought with my own money. Was Eve's first album.
Come on.
I think it's the first time we've seen Eve act, but be able to act in her own element. You know, when she was on her own show, she was a designer. When she was on Barbershop, she was a barber. I think Eve was a great actress, and I don't know why she hasn't been in more stuff. So I'm happy to see her in that. And I like that the show. What I like is that the show will probably have 5 separate stories with each person. The little young girl, I thought she was a young Nicki Minaj more than a sweetie or whatever, but I might it gave me Nicki Minaj tease. But I like how they stood up for her. That was one good thing too. Even the dynamic between Brandy's character and Nadine girl. I like how there's like that animosity or whatever, but they still have to work together. That was cute. I like Eve was like, I must nurse you back to health and then fuck your life over because you not gonna die on me after cheating on me with your fucking stupid no sir. Okay, live so I can torture you the same way I feel like you've been torturing me because you've been sick and I've been going through whatever. So fuck you. I don't like
His
Brandy's wig.
reasoning.
Yeah, it's like I don't like Brandy's wig. The edges make me a little bit itchy, but I like the braid part. But it's weird right there. But I like the show. I think it's something that we need. I think it's different, and I'm happy that they didn't prolong the whole BT performance until the end of the series. I was scared it was gonna be like a long prolonged shit. I'm happy it wasn't. And the Nadine girl to me is a fake J Lo. They kept saying how that's gonna be like a running joke. So I think it makes sense to get somebody who isn't the best because in a group you always sometimes have who you have someone who people think is the weakest link. And so for her, that may be what she is. And I also think, why did y'all get 3 performers and then one girl who don't perform? Because the Tori was in, 3W and the Cheetah Girl. No, just 3W. So you got 3 artists and then 1 actor. So I do think that was probably on purpose to make her be the one-off.
Yeah, I like the show. Did y'all notice how I found myself during the show Googling if Eve still had her paw print tattoos because they made very carefully to make sure that her character was her character on the show and not Eve because they didn't show her tattoo not one time.
She always do her when she's on show. She always cover the paw prints.
Okay, so that's what they made sure to do because I was like,
I'm about to say she still have her paw prints. Last time I checked,
she still has them.
She have them, but she covers them up when she do roles.
Acting, yeah.
Right, she don't want to be the pit bull in a skirt, making them hurt. I'm gonna stop.
I like the show though. I think it's really good. And Eve's husband on this show is Tia's boyfriend from Sister Sister. Somebody asked he was from
Rico Lee. I love him.
Yeah,
he's been in a lot of stuff since then. I like him as an actor.
Survivor's Remorse. I loved him the most on Survivor's Remorse.
I love that show.
First Wives Club. He was cheating on that too.
He's dope, man.
But yeah, y'all hurry up and watch it before they cancel it, okay? All right. So,
They gonna cancel it.
I mean, you know how they do, y'all. Y'all know if you don't watch a show fast enough, child, they'll fucking cancel that shit.
No, Fox do that. ABC will give shows chances.
It's on Hulu too, so that makes sense. Like,
so I think some shows, it be certain networks that cancel shit quick, fast, in a hurry. And I think the way they push this show, I don't think it's gonna get canceled yet. It may get canceled by season 3. But I think it's gonna at least get a season 2.
I hope so. All right, so Our Kind of People, y'all. Our Kind of People was a good episode this week, specifically because for me, and everybody can talk about their favorite part, but my favorite part this episode was the fact that Leah was not being as much of a bitch as she normally is. First of all, it was a cotillion. It was, the young girls' cotillion. Okay, we're presenting ourselves to the world. And Nikki wanted to be involved. It cost $24,000. Y'all know Angela ain't got no money, but somehow she gonna figure out a way to get $24,000 so her daughter can be in some old risky ass dance. Okay, and then Leah let her in. But y'all know Lauren a little bitch, and Leah actually ended up checking Lauren this episode, and I just was not expecting that. And then it was like, how you gonna check her? And she did exactly what you did in front of everybody multiple times. But it was a good episode. Y'all tell me what y'all thought.
I got 2 points. The first one that I loved, well, maybe it's 3. So the first thing I loved, and it actually made me tear up, is when Angela, I was going to say Leah, sorry y'all, when Angela, her daughter was at the cotillion and they were practicing and she didn't have a person and her mom went and put the jacket on to be there for her. And it just made me think about, it was like, this is a great example of how single mothers have to show up in places that fathers are not. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of like made me tear up. I was like, that was such a, kind moment that she didn't want her child to feel left out. So I thought that was everything. And then the other thing was Miss Lauren, who gets on my motherfucking nerves. First of all, I love the fact that she got dumped in front of everybody. I was here for that because she didn't have to do Miss Nikki like that at all. So I was glad. Period. You muted, Jay.
God damn it! I'm gonna stop eating myself. I'll be trying to not have other noise going on or whatever. But no, my favorite
My bad,
scene was the
child.
one with Grandma Gray Hair talking to Raymond, and when the white folk were like, "Oh, you can tell that it's summer because dark is around here," and how she told the story of, back in the day, the slaves who caught the fowl, sold the fowl, and then bought shit or whatever, and her saying, the way to win a war is to not let your enemies know they in a war. And I'm like, Grandma teaching you old school win shit without the person knowing that you in a war. And I'm like, come on now, Grandma. And even Raymond saying to Grandma, I want to go to war with Teddy. And she's like, I was waiting on you to suit up and do that. And when he said he was going to go use Alex, the fact that Grandma looked not worried, but still like, what the fuck, Alex, for real? Like, it took us forever to get back. I'm like, what the fuck did Alex do? So that conversation showed me how Grandma is about that life, but also her. I'm like, what the fuck did Alex do? Because why is Grandma worried? Because she usually on top. So I'm like, it made me anticipate what, what I'm saying, she gonna do. Necey?
Very true. Taylor is definitely the primary issue.
Yeah, Taylor on some bullshit.
I think every week is a good episode on this show. It's never an uneventful week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I feel like he really feeling Angela. I feel like what's his name on this show, y'all?
Tariq.
I think Tariq is really feeling her, but I think he's conflicted because he does feel loyal to Teddy. But once he find out that Teddy and him had something to do with his daddy dying, that shit gonna go out the window. And he gonna find out.
But see, I think he explained it. I think he explained it. He brought up how they told me to do it because we didn't know you. I did not know you when I first was talking to you, but I got to know you and see, oh, you don't mean us no harm. And so that's why I'm like, okay, I don't need to do this. So I like when Nikki said, Mama, he was honest with you. He came clean. You still was mad. Like, how you mad because I was honest with you? Like, he fucked up, yeah. But truth be told, no one knew who she was or what her point in being there was about. So you do want to be cautious. And the fact that he then the cameras was in there for a day. So the fact that he took them out and then would not put them back, to me, that means he must be on your side because otherwise he didn't say shit.
You muted,
y'all think now.
I know, right? It was a good episode. I just did what Jay Lee does. Oh my God. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on from there. Okay. So the next show that we are going to discuss on our list of things. Let's see. Married at First Sight, y'all. Married at First Sight really only had a couple of things to talk about. Really, two things. The first thing, and we're gonna take it piece by piece. So I'm gonna talk about the first part, then we're gonna go back around to that other shit. But the first part for me was the fact that Brett finally got Ryan's stupid ass together. First of all,
how many episodes?
Girl, so many episodes. Are you letting this man play you like a soybean burger while he all over there looking like a wet mop? Like, it's not even all of that.
A retired superhero.
Retired superhero. Look at that, bags under your eyes, looking all soggy. Like, go sit down somewhere. You're not a catch to feel like this lady isn't good enough for you to clean up after her. But if she was a blonde, what her same fucking facial features, but if she had blonde hair or or was a little skinnier child, I don't even know how she could have been skinnier. She's a white lady. But either way, like Ryan, I feel like you're not going to please him. It's the same thing with Zach. It's the same thing with Johnny. Low key, the same thing with Jose. I don't think they can really be pleased because the issue is not with their partner. The issue is with them. Now, their partners may have issues, but the issue is not really in the partner. And I feel like Ryan is the prime example of that. So when him and Johnny would get together and have their woe is me conversations, I would just be so fucking over them. The both of them, Johnny with his little Daisy Dukes on, Ryan with his saggy, soggy eyes and shit. I'm just, what y'all think? Go ahead.
I'm just glad that they said something. Yes, it's like I feel like I'm conflicted because I feel like as much as she wants to call him out for not saying shit, I feel like when he said some stuff, I don't have to say because my actions speak for themselves. I'm like, right, he's been acting like he really don't want to be here. So I feel like, why should I have to say anything when you see how I am? And while as a grown man, he should be able to communicate effectively. But I'm like, again, if I'm like, I don't want to be in the room with you, like, and we're not connecting, like, Brett should have been said, fuck you. I think her waiting for him to verbally say something he's been acting out means she like likes taking bullshit. Because I'm like, girl, he ain't give you no attention. Y'all been kissing and hugging. Like, what's the point of even trying to make it work? It's weird, but I'm happy she spoke up finally. But still, I'm like, he been acting how he felt.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like with Brady, it's probably awkward for her because it's been like, what, 2 years since she's actually been in a relationship. And now she just went from a relationship 2 or so years ago to just jumping into a marriage. So it could be, you know what I'm saying, pretty difficult for her and not wanting to step on his toes. But I am glad that they finally got to that place where they're talking about things. And we just gonna see, because Brady talking about he gonna try. And I'm like, you ain't been trying this whole time. Even when he said that he talked to somebody and the moment, I think he talked to one of the ladies last week, one of the experts, and said he was going to try. And it's like, but you still not trying. So what does your trying look like moving forward? I don't see it going anywhere. I think they should really just go ahead and get a divorce, because I think he's kind of stuck in his ways and he's not wanting to change. And the only reason he wants to hold on to the marriage is because he said that's something that he wanted.
Right.
So he's kind of like making himself believe that that's what he wants, but I don't think that's true.
Right. He
But
don't
even
need
when
marriage, he
Brett
need
said,
therapy.
no, Brett, when God damn it, when Zach asked him, what's the difference if y'all ain't sleeping together at the house? What's the difference coming here and then sharing rooms? I'm looking like, right, like that wasn't a big deal. And for him to not even have I'm like, right, you wanted to make them think y'all was good, and y'all not.
He didn't want to look like an asshole, like all the guys do on the show. And it's super duper irritating because every time the dude is honest about how he feels, he all of a sudden just decides to reset. So that way they can act like they're trying until the end of the 8 weeks. So I'm glad that Brett told Ryan about himself. But at the end of the conversation, it very much felt like she was open to having them reset when I really wanted her to be like, boy, fuck you. So
Ellie and Josh all over again.
Yes.
I think we called that earlier too. One of us did.
I mean, I'm just over them, essentially. And then, y'all know Michaela and Zach were the big thing. And here's my thing, and this is what I'm annoyed about. People refusing to see that even though Michaela is out of fucking control, she is completely out of control of herself. There is no reason that you should be that mad, that you should be walking, knocking over wooden fucking benches like nothing happened, like it didn't hurt you or nothing. Bitch, I know your shin was bruised up that next day after you kicked that damn that whole little thing off. Girl, she is out of control. But Zach, there was a moment where they were sitting in a bed at the end, and he says, I don't understand, he was still upset, I guess. They had that whole little, good time and everything. They get in the bed and he's upset. And there was this whole argument, right, about them sleeping in the same bed, but they were all happy to do that because they wanted to fuck, right? Zach now is upset, and Michaela is getting in the bed like they about to fuck. I'm telling you, she got in the bed thinking we about to fuck because that's what we was doing. We was getting in the bed to fuck. That's the only reason, right? Okay, and I had said after we played with the goats that I was gonna fuck you. So we get in the bed, and now you got a problem. So now I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? So she overreacted to him off rip, but I think he knew she would do that. So he has this, he says something and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. And then he was like, see, here you go. And she was trying to correct herself and he kept doing that. Here you go. See, see, this is how you are. That thing he always does. And she blew up. And in that moment, she was like, all right, well, fuck you then. Why don't you get your stupid ass up out the bed and leave? Because she was so mad that he had done that to her again, where he tells her no matter what she does, this is who she is, right? It is who she is. He's not lying. But at the same time, I think he absolutely knows what he's doing in the moment to piss her off because he knows what to do to get to fuck her. So you know what you have to do in order to smooth things over with her. But I think when they were at that dinner, and she was talking about all the shit that she would do, I'll cut your shit off and I'll take this. And you thought you had a refrigerator, nigga? Your refrigerator is gone. She gonna take appliances she ain't even buy. And I feel like she was joking, but she didn't realize that pissed him off. So when they got in the bed, he was mad and she was clueless. So she was like caught off guard on the slick, and that's why she overreacted in the moment. And she didn't really want him to leave, but she was mad that he was doing that same shit he always does, telling her, this is how you are. So he leaves. She grabbed the luggage and get all toxic and all of that. Don't leave. And then she spazzes and goes crazy. At the end of the day, Michaela needs a therapist to deal with her abandonment issues and her anger issues because she is out of control of herself. I know you upset, but take a deep breath and calm the fuck down. Nobody should make you that upset to where you physically harm your own body because you so fucking mad at them. You crazy. Get yourself together. But Zach is looking for a way out. And Bow, I see you, bitch. You was already
swooping in.
You was already on this tip, bitch. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. You the only one with your head out the door. You the only one that Michaela felt that she liked enough to come and get in the bed with. At the end of the day, I feel like Bao was presenting herself like a friend to Michaela, and it was all cool, but she started liking Zach, and then she started using her relationship with Michaela to get information about Zach. I'm not saying that she was fucking him at this moment, but I'm saying that her interest at this moment was more than just, oh, they fight. No, bitch. You wanted to see what was going on about the nigga that you had your sights on. And the truth of the matter is, Zach has always been the type of dude that will fuck a black girl and then go marry a white one or a white adjacent one. And Asian is second best. And that's no disrespect to Asian people, which y'all know, y'all totem pole, white people, Asian people, white Latino people. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know how this totem pole racial shit go. Okay, I ain't gotta lie to you. So at the end of the day, yeah, I feel like Bao was on bullshit at this moment. Like for me, all her Michaela. If I was Michaela, I would want to fight her. I wouldn't, but I would want to.
Right. I want to see. I don't want to see it, but I want to see her put them paws on her at the reunion. Okay. I don't want to see it, but I want to see it. So in the same breath, I feel like it's difficult because in the same breath, I feel like she don't really owe Michaela anything still. Even though I do feel like she was plotting. She was sticking her head out that door trying to see why her man was arguing with his wife. So yeah, I just hated to see her poke out the door and act like she was concerned, looking like she was gonna cry the whole time, knowing she didn't give a fuck. Zach is manipulative. We didn't really talk about the fact that he said that he wanted to get a divorce at the end of the 8 weeks and still date her and see where they go from there. So whenever Michaela has that scene where she gets frazzled and she's just like, I was like, you know what? I feel you on that, because this is the level of confusion that this man is putting you in order to fuck and leave whenever he feel like it. And I'm also tired of her overusing the word triggers. It's like, if you know that your trigger is abandonment, why the hell you keep loading the gun up telling this man to leave? So it's definitely issues with them on both sides, but I see why Michaela is having reactions, period. I'm not saying her reactions are justified. I see why she's having reactions, because Zach is really trying to play her for a whole ass fool.
But see, I think the fact that at the wedding, her family said Hurricane K. So I think no one has to find who's more wrong to say, well, Michaela's this, but Zach's that. They both play an active role in who they are. And the fact that her family tried to pre-warn him about how she act, seeing her act, how she ran through that barn like a fucking fool, I feel like no matter who she with, no matter if Zach was not a triggering person, that's still who she is. So I'm like, we can't blame Zach for her reaction, because that's her reaction regardless of what anybody does. Anything that someone does to her that she don't like, that's her. And so that's that. And even when her and Zach were talking out at the barn or whatever, and they both said, we made the agreement to get divorced because they should not be together. They both said they do not feel like they're being themselves together. That's a good thing. So I'm like, why is she upset? Or why is he upset? Why do either of y'all care if y'all gonna get divorced? it's dumb. And even seeing the whole scene play out, I'm like, I think Zach was right in leaving, because why am I gonna stay here? We fussing for hours. Let me leave. And I think her chasing behind him means she wants chaos. She told him my trigger is being abandoned. He told her my trigger is confrontation and fighting. So she doing to him what he don't like, and they both doing the same shit. I think it's crazy that people don't realize they both are triggering each other. If he don't like fussing and fighting, and she don't like abandonment, why y'all together? For what? And I also feel like with
They
Bao,
like fucking.
they do like fucking, and that's fine. But again, if y'all made the decision to divorce at the end, that's fine. Y'all made a good decision. Boom, pow, pow. However, she should have let him leave. Period. Because he mad, you called your sister, put your sister in it, which to me is like is on bullshit. That's you're an adult. Don't do that. Don't include,
The
because
ghetto.
you did that to make it be a bigger issue, because now your family know and they're gonna be pissed too. That's one thing. And for Bao, I really don't like that anyone is saying Bao's action then is based on what's allegedly going on now. I feel like when Bao told Michaela, if y'all in love, work on it, was a genuine conversation based on what Michaela asked her. I'm like, if I'm in a house with
But
somebody,
what about her
fussing and
sticking her
fighting,
nose out that door?
I would have done the exact. I'm nosy as fuck. If I see
Your
if
whole
I hear,
head though?
yes,
And
my whole body. I'm coming
could
in the
hear.
hallway.
That's what I'm saying. She could have
I'm
just
coming
cracked the
out.
door and look.
No.
She wanted
But why?
Zach
But
to
why
know
is
that
it?
she saw.
No. Why is it a bad thing that someone was watching?
It's not.
Because she was the
My
only
thing-
one.
But
she
if
was the only one.
so if Rachel did the same thing, would y'all say Rachel want to fuck Zach? My thing is,
No,
I think
I
we're
wouldn't have said
judging
that.
Bao. I think people are judging Bao based on people saying that she's dating Zach now, and I'm trying to not have thoughts on what's going on now to say that's how she felt then, because we don't know that. And so I try to base stuff off the season, and that's why I don't like getting spoilers. But when you get spoilers, it changes your mind on what was going on then, and that may not be the thing. Her and Zach, if they're together, may not have happened until after the reunion was still shot. We don't know these things, so I feel like I'm nosy too. And if I hear folks fussing, I'm going, Bondy, I heard someone, because I want to see what's happening. So I don't think it's an issue. But I'm like, people don't, because the comment section on social media was crazy going at Bao based on these rumors. And I'm looking like, she couldn't just be someone who was being nosy, because
Michaela confirmed that shit though. Just to say, like,
Michaela's crazy. Michaela needs Jesus.
She is, but she's never been known to be a liar. She might overreact and act crazy, but she don't lie.
I need to see them at the reunion say what's going on. I don't want to base stuff off fodder of social media and people putting it together. Well, I mean, no one's saying that that Bao and Zach wasn't hanging around. Yes, but my thing is, we don't know when it happened or when it happened. Is my point. So I don't want to judge Bao on what happened 6 months ago and saying 6 months ago Bao was plotting on Zach. I don't want to say that based on something I've seen off a photo now. I'd rather see what happened and then say, okay, she was on bullshit.
It's fair, but this is law and order. Okay, at the end of the day,
right. In my case is Bao should not be judged based on back then on what we think is going on.
No, it's not just that. It's not just that.
I'm a judge.
Right. I'm with
It's also
Necey.
how Johnny feels about her.
Johnny's a fuckboy. Fuck Johnny.
No, he is.
I'm with Necey.
But just like Zach has some validity in the things he says about Michaela,
I'm judging her ass all day.
I think
because
I feel like
we're basing stuff off of
we're basing
stuff off of Michaela, but nobody has heard from Zach or Bob.
We haven't. This is true, but we are judging her based on the information that
I'm
is
not
currently
judging.
out.
I'm not
it's
judging.
giving Portia Williams for me. It's giving the moment she sat down and talked to this lady. It's giving Portia Williams for me. I had to actually make me some notes because you know what I'm saying. I didn't want to forget, and I told you my mind be slipping. So the whole conversation about Bao being outside talking to Michaela about Zach when Jay Lee said, "Oh, I think that she should be in love, or if you're in love, then work on it." But she also said in that same conversation that maybe he's not the person for you right now. She also said that in that conversation. So I'm like, if you would tell her that, you need to take your own advice about Johnny.
No, what she said was, she said, if he's telling you that he's not ready, while you're upset for him being honest. If he's telling you that, is what she said. She said, let him be honest.
But
not,
she
he may
also
not be
said
the one
he
for
could
you.
possibly not be that guy for her in that
I didn't
moment.
hear that part.
Okay, so there's that. What else? Zach does. I agree with them two doing things to each other. Michaela definitely needs help. She needs to work on that with how she like responds to, I guess, disagreements or whatever, how she handles those disagreements. She need to work on that. But Zach is definitely full of SHI and a T. When Jack was walking outside, did y'all notice how slow he had with his bag? The slowness, the way he was walking with his bag so slow was like he was enjoying seeing her upset and the fact that Bao was at the door. If you also paid attention, you would have saw when Bao was at the door, when Michaela ran back to the room, Bao didn't follow her like a concerned girlfriend because she just wiped her tears earlier that day. Bao was over here like John. She was over here looking at Zach. So her eyes had been on Zach the whole time. Another thing I noticed when they were outside, Zach was talking about leaving. Number one, Bao looked like she was sad. Number two, it cut to the cameras where Michaela was walking up to Zach. What I see is that Zach was at his car, and who else was at the car? Bao was also right there at the car. And when Michaela walked over there to them, Miss Bao said, "No, Michaela, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go." So I think that Bao was definitely either liking him or already started a situation with him at that time. That's how it looks to me. I don't care what they may say it was. That's how it looks to me. Okay, so there's that. And then what else did I have? Oh, that was really it. That's all I just wanted to highlight. Those things that I saw.
Let me tell you something. All y'all talking about they not friends, ma'am. The first time she extended herself to be a shoulder to cry on to that girl is when she made what she doing at this juncture. If that is what she doing, fucked up.
And
Don't
it's like, how can people condemn
and then fuck their husband before they even divorce them? Because they still ain't divorced all the way yet.
How y'all gonna say Portia wrong, but then look at the Bao situation and be like, but they not friends? Like that don't even go together.
Because I think
that makes no sense. That is the same.
When strangers go on a dating show to be
well,
matched,
see, that's what we saying though. A lot of people were saying
don't
that
match them the right
Fallon
way.
was new to the show, so they weren't even friends.
They
She
wasn't
didn't
on the
know her
dating
like
show.
that. They just
They
brought
were
her
on the
on the
dating
show.
show.
They was just friends. They don't know each other, so it's still the same situation. No matter how you try to shape it or make it what it is. Like
I'm gonna mute.
That's just what
y'all
it is.
Stop talking over each other.
That's just what it is.
The thing is, I think
it's a Portia thing.
It's too, but that's your opinion. I think the difference is some folks feel like Portia and Fallon were on a reality show for their own lives, whereas Married at First Sight is about strangers trying to find.
You don't think these people on this show for their own life? That's a part of their life.
If anybody goes on a dating show to be matched, and if the experts get it wrong,
it's
and
in my life.
You're
getting a clear eye view
into my life. If you match the wrong people,
it
ain't nothing wrong with. If you match the wrong people, and I don't really know you, I don't care if you date the person I wasn't supposed to be with.
The thing that makes Bao wrong is her inserting herself in their situation as a friend. That's the only thing that makes it wrong, Jelly.
For me.
That's the only thing that makes it fucked up.
It's a dating show. Look, I said
what I said.
I get that. Dating show.
But I see if it's like, are you the one or Love Island?
This is my thing. Everybody has their. That's my opinion.
That's what it's
That's my opinion, though. So y'all said I don't see it that way. I feel like a dating show of strangers. I don't think anyone we watch because I've watched more seasons. So I feel like every season we see, dang, so and so was a match, right? Had they been matched with somebody else, it would have been a match. If the point of the show is for them to find their person, if the experts match them wrong, I don't see an issue with them getting with somebody else once they broken up.
And
I
agree.
I understand your opinion, Jay Lee. I just think that's just crazy for me. Like,
so do you really feel like they was done? You don't think there was any overlap? The way he intended to still be fucking with her?
This is my thing. I don't know because I ain't there.
Is this the first time this has happened? I know it happened in Australia. It happened in Australia.
It's the first time that it's happened within the show. Me and Jaylee talked about 3 weeks ago. It happened with the North Carolina people, with Katie and Zach. And it was even worse because you know how all of the wives like build friendships. All the wives went and got matching tattoos. Right. And then it wasn't until the reunion that one of the girls found out that she was dating one of the husbands. So this ain't the first time it happened. So Jaylee, I have to say, I agree with you until the point of Bao inserted herself in their drama, because if she would have been like,
I don't think she did.
Rachel,
I think.
Well, I think she did, because she didn't have to comfort.
You gonna let Necey?
So let me ask. Can I give her?
Let me finish, please.
I'm asking the question.
Let me answer your question. So the reason why I think Bao over inserted herself is because she could have saw what was happening by just barely cracking the door, but I get the feeling that she wanted Zach and Michaela to know that she was there, so that once the situation boiled over, she could get the inside tea on what was really going on. So when that situation cooled down, Michaela knew Bao was available, because Bao could see her and be a witness to Michaela potentially being a victim. So that's where I feel like Bao over inserted herself, because you should have never even laid in the bed and let that girl cry to you. You gave her advice on more than one occasion, when you could have just played it like Brett, played it like Mirla, minding your business. And if you would have went and dated Zach, I wouldn't have cared. But I think that's messy to give her advice on a relationship where you know that that's a man that you out here choosing.
But right there, you said, this is my thing. Y'all are saying Bao knew she wanted Zach. My point is, I don't know that. Y'all are saying that if these photos of Bao and Zach had not came out, would y'all have the same opinion? If y'all did not see any of these photos, and it's based on the season, which y'all feel
that's
like,
true.
Granted, that's true, but they're out though, Jamie. But they're out though.
So now
we're trying to identify the time frame.
That's right, but I don't know the time frame. So my thing is, I am still saying I'm not judging Bao based. We don't know if Bao and Zach are together after decision day.
This is true.
One thing
we
are. That happened. At that point, address it. But I'm like, people are adding their feelings based on something we don't even really know. I don't operate that way.
I think that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I don't think it's feelings.
One thing we do know is that she knew that she could potentially be attracted to that man. And I guess she acted on those feelings. Yes,
I have a question.
We know now that she was attracted to that man.
I have a question, Jay Lee. Okay, so we've never met in person. So if you got a situation with, I'm gonna say, scamming ass, rich ass nigga, and I come over and I'm getting to know information and I'm consoling you, right? And then a month or so later, I decide to go fuck on that scamming ass, rich ass nigga and move forward. You don't see an issue with that at all?
I didn't just meet you. I've known you for a year, and yes, I would have an issue. It's a different circumstance. I know you. We talk on a regular basis. We are cool. We are friends.
But
I feel no. They not. That's no.
We don't know that.
Nobody is that close after 4 weeks. Period. I've been talking to Jamie on a regular basis for a year now. That's different. And also, we not on a dating show. That's different. So it is the same situation.
But see, that's the other thing too. You continue to say dating,
I think
but they're married though.
Everyone has a different. I'm not changing my opinion. I think everyone here.
Girl, nobody trying to make you change your opinion.
Wait.
Some people feel how you feel. So we don't want you to change it.
This is my thing. When we eat to keep asking different scenarios, it's the same. It's different scenarios. Okay. It is. Bao and Michaela can't be me and Jay because we didn't meet on a dating show. We weren't met with strangers. And we talked for a longer period of time to where it's a friendship here. Had this been any other season, and we see the girls are actually friends, prior seasons, see, y'all haven't watched prior seasons, so y'all don't really know how it usually be. Prior seasons, they are friends, and that's what is different. This season is completely different. They're not friends. They don't hang out. They don't talk.
So you think that Bao just went over there just to talk to a girl, just to talk to her because she was going through it?
I think the producers talk. The producers set them up to have a conversation. I think when Michaela
even more of a reason, which is very interesting, which makes what I'm saying a little valid.
I said that we are moving on to Love and Marriage Huntsville when I put up the That's what the fuck I said. So
we'll talk about it in the DMs.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna move the hell on and break this shit up because I've had enough. Okay. I'm doing my job as a motherfucking moderator. Okay, you said you ain't want to go back and forth, bitch. I am cutting it up. Okay, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, yo. So Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I have in my notes here that Chris was being messy this episode, and that's one of the three things
what
to talk
happened?
about. But I wanted y'all's opinion on Chris, because y'all saw how Chris was, right? Chris went to the meeting with Martell and Marceau, and then went back to Mel and was like, "Girl, let me tell you." So they sat up there and said that they wanted to do business together, and then conveniently forgot to add that Martell and Marceau both asked if they, and said they wanted to do business with Mel. So it almost seemed like Chris was trying to create more dissension. I don't know whether it was the editing or what, but what did y'all think about that?
I don't know why I understood it as Marceau was asking Martell to check if he could work with Mel instead of working with him. That's how I was taking it.
They work on different properties. I think with him doing commercial and her doing and Mel doing residential, they're only allowed to work on certain stuff. I think the whole thing is if he's included at all, will it work? Martell and Mel don't need to work together. Period.
I don't think so.
And Chris may not. I don't think Chris has been privy to the dysfunction of Mel and Martell.
He has.
I don't think. I think that one thing then versus how Martell's in the fighting on the trip is two different things. I think he's seen them consistently fighting, whereas Chris has seen them have one conversation about that co-star chick. But I think Chris assumes they can be adults if they don't discuss their marriage, and we see as viewers they can't.
Child, I just remember when they went to Chris and his old lady house and was throwing shit on them people patio. And I feel like if anything should have told you they not in a place to work together, that should have told you they wasn't in a place. I mean, they fucked up your patio furniture.
What I think Chris said, I think that's what Chris said. If as long as it's not about their marriage or divorce, they should be able to look like. But I think he don't know. Regardless of whatever it is. But I think I think we're privy to the fight stuff because he wasn't there. I'm like, no, nigga. They can't, like, the marriage is one thing, but everything else becomes a fight.
I think you know how Martell is, specifically because Martell has done some of those same things to him when Martell got mad or Martell was trying to distract. He threw Chris under the bus for being a cheater. Let's not forget. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like they know the type of person Martell is. That's why nobody want to really do business with him. It's not just because he don't have the license. It's also because when Mad Day come, he'll throw your shit in your face, which is another reason why I be looking at Marceau and Maurice so weird, because like they automatically ostracize Louis for holding them accountable. But Martell told everybody's tea all of these seasons, and y'all still include him in on the conversation.
It's because Martell has too much of their shit that he didn't reveal. Whereas with Louis don't have none of their shit just yet. So they like, let me go ahead and cut him out now, because if he can't handle this little insecurity conversation, he can't handle what I be doing in the streets. So I think that's why
Louis ain't gonna be a part of the group. Block. Yeah, Louis not gonna be a part of a group like that.
Right, he a part of the Black Men Don't Cheat group. Louis is.
Well, I think they cheat. He'll just tell, and they once more gonna hold the secrets. And Louis ain't gonna. I don't think Louis isn't like Martell, Maurice, and Marceau for many different reasons. So I think he is odd man out, and I don't want him to have to be like them. But I do think, with them. Right. But I do think if he was smart for TV show's sake, he should have told Tiffany, "I'm gonna tell you shit, but don't say shit." Like, we can discuss it. Like, let's wait to see like for 2 more seasons before we do that, because now the guys won't really want to hang out with him and confide in him. So I think certain scenes he's going to be in, because they don't trust him.
They shouldn't trust Martell's ass. Jamie, you got anything to say about this?
I apologize. System messed up when you guys brought up the situation.
We were talking about Chris and just how it was a different conversation with Mel. He didn't tell Mel that Marceau and Martell said they would work with Mel on the 47 acres. He just kind of to them as if, they were talking about working together. So Mel was like, oh, you'll work with someone who you're not even in good standing with, but you won't work with the mother of your kids, So
I felt like Mel definitely had a point when she said that, but I also felt like Chris was being messy as fuck, because why would you have these separate conversations? I felt like in the beginning he could have sat both Mel and Martell down and just got all of this clear. Like, hey, Martell, y'all going through this divorce. This is how it's looking on your end. Developer or whoever is now trying to go over here with Mel. Like, all of this could have been resolved. So Chris is very, very messy. And for me, I just felt like I wouldn't do no more business for him. Anymore. And it's sad because Martell likes to go around and talk about how he's helped other people businesses, right? He like to talk about scope and show and whatever it's called with Scott and him, and then you talking about Chris and stuff. It's like, Martell, at what point you're going to stop using your bragging as I helped you get this, I helped you get that, and let it be about what you helped yourself get? Because right now it's looking like you poured into everybody else and what they got going on, and now you ain't got for yourself. So now we're looking at you sideways. So he needs to get himself together.
Right.
Okay. So you're getting everybody else together.
Okay. And then outside of that, we saw Tiffany and Destiny meet up and have a conversation about their issues, which I kind of felt like, okay, we got to know Tiffany. Tiffany is a biracial girl whose white mom threw her out to the streets because she didn't want to have a baby by a black man, even though she was happy to lay up under a black man and fuck on him. But anyway, assuming that it was sex she wanted to have, and I'm sorry, but I just automatically assumed it was sex she wanted to have. But yeah, she raised her other 3 kids and sent Tiffany away to, be raised by a biracial adopted family. And then she found out that she was adopted from a nosy, messy ass neighbor who shouldn't have been the one to give her that information at all. And Tiffany basically shared that with Destiny, but it just made me feel like, oh, so now we know that the Karen is in your blood. Now we know it's a genetic thing why you act the way you do and you dress the way you do, as if you were always shopping at Ross for lunch. It's sad, off the shoulder. Like, I was just like, okay, ma'am, that's fine. Why is your hair always wet? Whatever.
Yes. Why is your hair always wet? That's what I was thinking too.
Just
That's
like
how you
the
know the Karen was built in.
See, the light-skinned girls growing up that grew up around black people, they be so excited that they can just put some, oil of Olay conditioner in their hair and then just be, go. They be so excited about that. So every time you see her, she got some mousse, some hard dried mousse in her fucking hair. I still felt like it was a cute conversation, but ultimately she's going to continue to be messy, and Destiny is just going to have to figure out a way to take a deep breath and shade her slightly and move on instead of, taking it to heart.
I felt like the story that Tiffany gave for me about, her background, we appreciate you opening up about your life and stuff, but it really didn't speak to how you came at Destiny about her personal information or kind of personal. I didn't really understand that. I was glad that they were able to kind of talk things out and get to a better place. But the main thing I took away from the conversation was what this got to do with how you came at this lady for her birthday. And that's it.
For me, it explained why she's so willing to do whatever she can to get in where she fit in. Because you always felt like an outcast in your own family, as she said. That's what I'm talking about when I say you. As she said, she always felt like an outcast. So that explains why she tries so hard to make it seem like, I'm already privy to your tea, girl. Let's kiki and talk about your drama because I already know. I think that's the reaction that she was expecting from Destiny at the beginning. What annoyed me was that you tried to play it off by being transparent, saying that you were transparent when you really was just transparent with the bullshit, including marriages and children, because you was talking about Monster. So the story was interesting, but like Jami said, I don't think it was a good excuse and didn't really give us enough. To me, I was like, oh, this is just why you try so hard to get in where you fit in. I also want to say that I felt like Destiny handled this conversation very well. I think Destiny's been handling it well this whole time, but I feel like it proves my point just to see how calm and peaceful the conversation was without Mel regulating it. I felt like throughout the season, anytime somebody gets into a real conversation with Tiffany, we often see it kind of being moderated or regulated by Mel, and they can't never really get to the source. So I think this speaks to Destiny. She was mature. She gave her black girl magic. Tiffany gave her Karen. I was really considering if I should come. What? You still gonna go into this victim role considering if you should come? No. So I'm still not feeling Tiffany, but thank you for the story.
I didn't like Tiffany. I still don't. I feel like her explanation of being adopted means nothing because a lot of people are adopted. That does not mean you can go around, telling other folks' business. I think her thing and saying, well, my neighbor was the one who told me I was adopted. I think she feel like, okay, now it's her job to tell everybody else what's going on because she don't want anyone else having secrets. Like, but it's not your place to do that. I think your neighbor was wrong for telling you something that your parents did not want you to know. Your parents should have told you eventually or whatever. But I think her explaining that was for sympathy. And I'm not gonna give her any because it doesn't matter. You're still doing things wrong. I like how ThatsMe said we both have slick mouths. And you know what I'm saying, that's what it is. And we just need to know that about each other. It was a good resolve, but I feel like Tiffany did not explain anything that made any sense into why she is how she is about other people's business. So I'm like, it still fucks Tiffany.
Actually, it does if you think about it. Now that I'm thinking about what y'all are saying, that story about that neighbor telling her that tea on her being adopted is exactly why she doesn't have any boundaries as it pertains to what she should be able to discuss with people about their personal lives. Because her fucking neighbor decided to be the one to give her the very sensitive information that she was adopted. And if you think about it, she is very callous with the way she will bring up uncomfortable truths or things that may be considered private around a whole bunch of people, or just bringing it up, period. She doesn't have any qualms about that because nobody had any qualms about bringing up her being adopted when that was not their place. Now that I think about it, just saying. Them pumps is still terrible. Let's go ahead and move on. So the last thing that we wanted to talk about was Tisha going to therapy, child. Tisha. First of all, when Tisha had talked to Destiny at the beginning of the episode and was like, we have to, be able to check each other when, we do things that are out of line in this group. I said, girl, not the way you sat there and ate your food and didn't say a fucking thing when Tiffany was running all up and through your marriage, asking you if you knew if your man really wanted to stay married to you. You sat there and
That's
looked
what I
down
said.
and looked away and let Destiny carry your beef for you. So I was
That's
just kind of like,
exactly what I said. Keep that same energy. You could have helped Destiny from helping them make her look like the bad guy. You
that's what
sitting
they
there
did.
not saying nothing. Yeah, you're not even co-signing Destiny, letting Destiny know you was on the same page as her. You just letting Tiffany run her mouth. Yes.
And then on top of that, like when she was talking to Dr. Francis, I love Dr. Francis because Dr. Francis is always just like appalled and astonished at the fuck shit of it all, right? So he's like, so you're doing all of this and you got a husband, right? Like, just kind of bringing it to her attention how she's constantly making allowances for Marceau to not have to show up. And, it goes from him not being there for the kids like that to him not showing up for her like that. And I also want to say, y'all, there's nothing wrong with a woman wanting her man to profess his love for her in public. Like, there is nothing wrong with that. People was acting like, Tisha was fucked up for wanting him to do that. But when you think about the way he never wants to clarify things publicly that people question him about, it's a hole. It's a hole that she needs him to like fill up with knowledge. Basically, I feel like I don't know what the fuck is going on. And the way you talk to me like I'm stupid. So I know if there was something going on, you wouldn't tell me anyway, or you would talk to me about it like I was stupid. Mainly the way he likes to pretend as if what he's saying is a joke or something when it's really probably exactly how he feels, when he jokes about the drinking game and all of that, and then jokes about, if he have an outside kid and all of that. You leave a lot to be desired as it pertains to trust issues that Tisha obviously has. So instead of, I feel like, saying this is exactly what it is to his wife, and in public to let everybody know what it is, he chooses to keep her in the dark. And I feel like that's a way to protect the lie.
I don't have much to say about the therapy situation aside from I just feel like Tisha doesn't want to be a single woman, yet or a single mom. Yet she's a single mom in this marriage with this man. And I don't understand what she's holding on to. It's like she's holding on to not being like another statistic and proving individuals right. They probably said it wasn't going to last. Yeah, it sucks. I'm over Marceau. That's all I got right now.
I agree. I said the exact same thing. She don't want to be a single mom, even though she already is, and she's married. Yeah, it's a mess. But I do really enjoy that Dr. Francis found out why it is that Tisha spends so much money on things. It's a validation of love for her. So yeah, it's definitely some fault between the two of them. I also really liked how Dr. Francis kept asking Tisha questions and was like, "This isn't about Marceau. This is about you." Because you coming in here and you complaining about Marceau, but you have the power to change your own circumstance, and that's just something that you're not gonna do. So it just is what it is. I don't think that Marceau is a liar. So I think him keeping her always in this limbo of curiosity is him not lying. He's not gonna lie to her. So that way when she finds out, it's like, well, I didn't lie. Because I feel like Marceau is the type of man that thinks he's too big to lie and cover something up. I think if he ever did something, he's the type of man that would stand in it like it just is what it is. So instead of addressing it, he's gonna keep her confused and just kind of be like, I didn't say it wasn't true. I didn't say this. So who knows? I also get the feeling from Tisha that if anything ever did come out, she would work overtime to help them cover it up. She would make it their
I feel like
secret.
that's what she did when they said that he was fucking on the hairdresser who was Mel's
Yes.
cousin. And then the cousin got up there and said that she wasn't having a relationship with him. And the fact that she even got up there to do a live to say that it wasn't her made me think that it absolutely is her.
Right.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I honestly feel like whoever put that story out had it right the first time. I think it is her. I just think that she is the type of woman that doesn't want to be with Marceau 100% of the time. She wants to be with him when she wants to be with him and send his ass back to Tisha so he can stress Tisha's ass out. And she can just get the dick and the money from him and go on about her way. I think there are a lot of women that actively appreciate their position as a side chick. Not everybody is trying to be a main. They got a lot of y'all that want to be a main, but there are a lot of chicks that will absolutely still, in this day and age, play their position. And I absolutely think that's what's going on with Marceau. Jaylee, do you have anything to add about Love and Marriage Huntsville, girl?
No.
Okay, I see you ain't got uncomfortable. Okay,
Girl.
so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and move on to Ready to Love. All right, so y'all thought we forgot about it. Well, no, we back with the jump off. Okay, so basically the only thing that I wanted to discuss as it pertains to Ready to Love, I assume that y'all all wanted to talk about this. Because we like this show. It's just basically that Frank and Walter are number one on the list as far as the women liking them the most. Walter is Joelle. I haven't yet pinpointed who Frank is. I'm actually surprised that they like Frank as much as they do. But he seems to be charismatic.
Ron.
Right.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. Ron.
Yeah, he makes me think of Ron.
Ron. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Sabrina is the one lady that everybody seems to be like the most interested in besides Courtney, of course. It has to be like the two lightest women on the cast. That has to be the two that y'all are so interested in. Child, whatever. Anyway. And Corey. Child, Corey is Troy, trying to get numbers and go on dates with everybody, and then also hitting me up on Twitter and Jami up in the DMs. Bitch, go to bed. What y'all got to say?
Corey is placed there by production. So far, I think the cast is going to be highly interesting. Miss Sabrina did not mind letting her guard down with Walter and doing all the crying and stuff, and they kind of build a moment. I'm interested to seeing how the two of them connect. It's something about Ron, Lord. It's something about Frank that I like and don't like, and I can't put my finger on the don't like. I love his voice.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Overly dapper. He tries, enjoy your beverage.
Maybe
I'm gonna tell you what it is. He's the type of guy that will make you feel like he's just lame enough to be a good guy, but good enough for you to still be attracted to. But then on the back end, he'll show up to be just as much of an asshole as anybody else you've ever fucked with. And then you'll feel like you played yourself by even fucking with him because you wouldn't have fucked with him from the beginning, but he was so nice that
I love that you said that.
Yeah,
it also gives off
her chair. That's when she's feeling it because she got to move around her body.
It's like he. Okay, so y'all saw how he was with the blonde hair lady. What's her name? Alicia, Aisha, whatever. It's like he approaches you as if you probably got a chance with him. Get him wrapped up into you. When Bondy was saying this is what came to my head. Get you wrapped up into him, and then he a boy. He pieces out. So I kind of hope that Aisha doesn't stick on Frank, because I feel like he gonna let her down. He gonna hurt her feelings. But I also feel like if he doesn't get his way, those the side way that Ron was talking when he got all slick with Alexis and stuff, I feel like that may come out of his mouth. I feel like that's the thing that I may not like. I can't put my hands on it, but he probably got a slick mouth.
And Aisha is Alexis Fly Jones.
Absolutely. I know I'm fine. I'm fine. You know I'm fine. I know I'm fine. Let's not even front. I'm fine. All right, bitch. Calm down. Your wig is bad though, but we'll let you have it.
Too big for your head.
She's a hairstylist.
Oh, you know what she was given? Y'all remember?
What?
Necey, you need to watch this movie if you've never seen it. Sprung. Paula J. Parker is Sprung. If y'all have never seen Sprung, come on, y'all. With Tisha Campbell Martin. Come on, I know you've seen it, Jay Lee. Come on.
I gotta see her a bit more to see if she's as crazy as she was in that damn movie.
But a lot of face and teeth, though. You feel me?
Yeah.
Go watch that movie, Necey. It's hilarious.
It is. It's a really good movie. I like Cornelius. I like Moomin.
Cornelius.
We think he's gay.
You mean she's beautiful.
Yeah, I love her.
Oh, Moomin. Yes, she has a beautiful voice. I'm talking about Disney character.
I think Camille gonna be a problem for whoever, because Camille saying that Cornelius is her man day one, and how she did not want him to go. It ain't even that. Like, that could be a joke. Fine, ha 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 ha. But the fact that she kind of did not want him to go and talk and mingle, to me, was an issue. The point of the first night is to mix and mingle. So if you like him and y'all made a connection, cool. But let him go and try to do whatever else. This day fucking wants. I think she may be an issue. And then
she is.
We know Corey's crazy. Because Demetrius did not. Demetria, sorry, that's my head. Lucas was posting about it because she's in DC, and she brought up how there's stories about Corey. There's also stories about Carrington. I think she also said,
really, Carrington.
Just those who Carrington. She said Carrington is a fuckboy. And Corey is, he dates everybody.
Yo, what is this sector of lame niggas that convince you they're good guys so that you can fuck with them, and then they turn out to be the fuck boy you didn't think they were?
The suit and tie.
I can tell Carrington was a fuck boy based on how he was moving throughout the night. I felt like he was there trying. He's a quintessential club owner, nightlife person who's used to mixing and mingling.
Right.
He's
party promoter.
Yeah, so he remind me of that. So I had a bad vibe from him already.
So is
I do like
from Married at First Sight.
Who? He's a Kappa.
Zach is a Kappa too.
Lord Jesus. Cornelius is not good, and then movement. I can't pronounce her name. I like them too. I also like Zaria, Zadia. The girl next, I like her too.
She gonna sneak up on us. We just didn't get. I didn't feel like we saw a lot of her interactions, but then when they talked about it at the end,
she was talking with Naeem.
I like her too.
Can I tell y'all? Can I tell y'all how much it annoyed me that everybody was so interested in Sabrina because she was half Korean and she got all the Korea tattooed on her back. But then when Troy, who was in Korea during wartime, when he was a soldier, so he was in Korea. Tyrone. Yes, he spoke it to her and she didn't know anything about it. And see, that's the shit that remind me of your girl from last season that was so proud to be an Italian. Don't know no fucking Italian.
Chris Anthem.
Yeah, like I'm tired, y'all. I'm sorry, but on these types of shows, I am so tired of seeing Black people that are so happy to tell us that there's something besides just Black on a Black show. Because I think it speaks to the fact that the Black community loves to exoticize, mixed children and mixed people and all of that. So whenever there's one amongst a bunch, y'all always have to make the rest of the women feel like they're not as good because they're not mixed with something else. Because if y'all notice, Sabrina and Courtney, but specifically Sabrina, I felt like got more attention than any other woman on the show, even though she's not much different in complexion than any of those other women.
But you wonder why I think she did? I feel like when she walked in, to me, she walked in and seemed interesting. I think the conversation she had, maybe that not based on how she looked, because I liked her conversation with Walter,
Yeah,
because
they
it
got
was,
emotional about the parents.
and
Mm-hmm.
I felt like when I seen her talking to people, when Corey came up to her and said, "Do you like me?" When she said it's not about the physical, you know, and I'm like, I felt like to me, she know who she is, and
Yeah.
she's not focused on the bullshit. So I like her. So I
No,
do
it's
think her
not.
conversation is what made that. What I didn't like was um Tashia, who was one of the bottom two, and how she was
Uh-huh.
upset that she was within the
Yes,
top
Oh
10.
yes.
I'm like, how you
yes.
mad?
She
It's
because
thought
day
she
that
one.
ass.
because
Somebody
she
got to
looked
go
like
on.
that, and she was another one that
Right.
came on the show like I look like this, so I already
Yeah.
know how y'all gonna
Mm-hmm.
feel about because she know how men hit on her all the time. But see, in these settings, these men I feel like don't like women who are too full of themselves. And maybe Sabrina was giving off a vibe that I'm very beautiful and exotic, but I'm not that full of myself. And because I'm just saying, I meant to go back to that because I want to say that it's not that I think anything is wrong with Sabrina. I just feel like the way they shape the shows or the way the men are attracted to the women is the problem to me. Not her being who she is, but really the way they respond to certain women based off the same stereotypical, non-black, you know, things. Like I'm just saying, I'm just tired of seeing those same type of fucking tropes everywhere.
I was laughing because I just looked at this picture of Troy and I was just thinking like not Troy telling his mama business on national TV about having different men in and
Tyrone.
out the house. I said Troy, Tyrone, yes. Not Tyrone telling his mama business about having sneaky links come through in the night
I said she might could have
during a
been.
20-year
Right.
marriage.
Girl,
She
he is
right. She could
not
have
to
been a
be trusted.
prostitute. I'm like, you done told that lady
Ooh.
I was
prostitution
like, you can't be
business.
with him. No woman on this show is going to be able to be with him because he is constantly going to hate them because his mom was out here doing whatever. And you know what's
Well,
so
it sounds
funny?
like he might have done the work, maybe, if
Nah.
he was able to uncover what the issue was.
Tyrone.
Mm-mm.
Anybody that has done
I
that
don't think
work
so.
wouldn't be on this show. I don't know why I feel like that.
The
But I
fact that
feel like
he kept his name as Tyrone mean he ain't got no damn. No one should keep the name Tyrone. Tyrone is you can't trust Tyrones. So you to change the name Tyrone. I don't like it.
I didn't like the fact that he looked different in the pictures versus in the video. When he did his like intro video and he was away from the camera, he was like all tall and statuesque and shit. And then when we saw him in like pictures and on the show a little bit, it seemed like a little, what's your boy name? Giggity Giggity on Family Guy. Um,
Quagmire?
yeah, you know how Quagmire got that hella strong
Nope.
ass square jaw and no neck? Like
No,
Nope.
that's
no.
Nope.
You know who I
Nah.
feel
With a
like
hard
Too this
P.
one for you.
I'm sorry.
what's
Girl,
that?
no.
I'm sorry.
What's the dude's name?
Naeem
Naeem.
Naeem.
He looks better on camera than he does in
in
pictures. It's
pictures.
like some
Absolutely.
confessionals. I look at him and I think like you might be one of the top 3 attractive dudes there, but then I see him in another scene and I'll be like, I don't know.
But see on the cast special, those confessionals did not do anybody justice because I do
Mm-mm.
feel like they all look worse on the cast special than they did on
On the
episode one.
episode.
But then
Mhm.
even the stuff that we seen, they look different from what we seen from the show. So it was weird
Right.
that it's like, girl, Frankenstein's monster. I guess I don't know.
Either way, it's too early on for us to really gauge how we're feeling here. But ultimately, I feel like the guys that are gonna end up being there, well, the top guys. I don't know if they'll be there at the end, but I'm feeling like the top guys are gonna be Frank, Dante, Walter, and probably Cornelius. Even though I'm
Mm.
wondering if Cornelius, I just, when he was on
Bondy, I was wondering if you was gonna say it
I
first or if
picked
I
on
was
I
gonna
picked
say
up
it.
on it. I picked up on it. Lyric picked up
Mm-hmm.
on
Y'all,
it too. But
Picked up
we
y'all,
on
let it
I
which
go.
picked
one?
up
they
Phil?
think he gay.
Cornelius.
Cornelius.
The only reason why I
Phil
picked
and
up on it,
Cornelius.
well, I picked up on Cornelius because I have to side eye a man who is in his mid 40s and feeling like getting married is a task that he has to do for his parents. But then he also talked about getting involved with the church. So I was like, are you trying to shake something?
It was
I
also the
don't
way he
know.
Wait,
spoke.
who? That was
I'm I'm
Phil,
I'm
and
gonna
that
take
was
it real. I'm gonna
That
take
was
it low level.
Cornelius.
Cornelius, the one who we thought might be a good match for what was that girl?
For
Was
court.
it
Oh,
Camille? Camille,
thought she
Camille
was- yeah.
had sank her teeth on him and was like he was her man
yeah.
after only a couple of hours. But
But
it
he
was
was talking
something.
with Courtney, and they kind of vibe too. Big
Yeah,
hair
he
Courtney.
did.
But then
it was,
I got a different vibe from him sitting with Courtney though.
Cornelia.
It didn't come off as, you know,
It
Well,
seemed more
he didn't
real.
come off like that at all with the women, but in
No,
the
in the
casting
confessional.
special, yes, casting special and confessional, he came off different. He seemed
There's
like a good
a-
dude, but I was
yeah, there was a there was
y'all
a-
gave vibes already.
you know what? We don't want we listen. When we get these feelings, we always tell ourselves we're not gonna be like that. We're gonna wait to see. But a lot of the times, small mannerisms are fucking tellers. I don't care what nobody's talking about. So I'm not gonna sit up here and ignore the shit because everybody else be looking and seeing the shit and then being like, nah, that's not what it is. But they noticed that extra S on the end of that shit. And it wasn't like there's no S in that word. Why is there S?
See,
So
my top dudes. Look, my top dudes is Cornelius, Walter, and for some reason, I feel like Phil might make it to the end. I think he's gonna be a low key underhanded like sneak teddy bear dude, and I also think the top women would be like, I really hope Moomin.
Newman,
Yeah, her, and then also Sabrina, and a possible runner up is going to be Courtney. I think Courtney gonna be like a young, like snowball effect that may fuck up all kind of shit.
Oh yeah, she definitely giving the what's your girl from last season that everybody likes.
Joy?
No.
Kyra.
It's definitely giving a young, a Kyra vibe. Not in a way that they're gonna try to slut her out like they try to do Kyra, but just in a manner
before
of
that,
slut her out.
She's the young girl that everybody's going to put at the top of their list because she's bubbly and perky.
Yeah, before that it was that other girl, Andrea.
Yes, it was
the
Andrea.
season before it was her. They always choose a girl that's in their early 30s to be that girl that's gonna sit at the top of everybody's list. Top men for me. Top men for me is Walter, Cornelius, Frank.
Yeah.
Top women for me will be Sabrina, Courtney. And shockingly, I'm going to say Camille. And I know that one of the ladies on the show is going to have to get played. And I feel like, unfortunately, it's going to be Zadia.
It is giving like, oh girl, huh?
Shiloh.
That one season. Y'all remember that girl that one season that ended up getting dumped, but then they ended up together in real life? What was her name?
Oh, that's Mario and Reva.
Yes.
Tandy and Mario and Reva.
Yep.
Yes, they engaged now.
Been together for a while.
Right, but on the show he picked Tandy over her, and then they ended up together after the show and all of that.
That was some shady.
I was like, Lord Jesus. But that was weird shit because I was like, it was weird for me because that wasn't them. Who was the one? Oh no, that was Alexis and them. When she called old girl and said she was fucked up, so that was something different.
Yeah, that was that. So we done with Ready to Love, y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Real Housewives of Potomac. But before we get into the episode, there are a few things to talk about as it pertains to Real Housewives of Potomac. First of all, Wendy Osefo sold out her One Wick candles. Okay, One Wick wonders. Okay, Wendy's One Wick wonders. Sold out, huh?
She sold off for 5. Yeah, 5 of them. Sold off 5.
You so stupid. First of all, the only reason we're talking about this is because her candles were $45, and a lot of people were upset because it was like an 11-ounce, $45 candle. Can I tell y'all that I have paid about $45 for a 12-ounce candle from Harlem Candle Company a bunch of times, but I always get them in 3s for $125. But that's not the point. Either way, there are candles, like my girl Jami said, that you go down to the Home Goods and the Marshalls with your, TJX credit card for it, and you get a whole bunch of them for your nice little bag. And then there are other times when you spend your little extra dollar on a really expensive perfumey ones that you know gonna permeate, but you can only burn them for like 2-3 good hours, and then you gotta blow them out because you don't want them to be gone too soon. My ratchet ass just let them hoes burn until they burn out, and then I wait until I got the money to buy another set. But do y'all buy $45? Y'all know I
Hell
went and bought
no.
them $100 candles, right? The ones that
I went
remember
to
we
that
was,
site. When you
did.
sent the link.
yes.
I
Oh
said,
yeah,
buy it and buy it. I'll spell it from bottom to
do what
top.
I said. I stick beside you, but I won't be pressing sin
Listen,
with you.
and I love y'all for sticking beside me. There
So I
are
need a review.
I
I need a
love
review,
candles.
Bondy.
I'm gonna give it to you too, but y'all know I love candles. So like I low key will try an expensive candle just to see if it lasts longer or if it does something special other than my DW candles that I get from the Home Goods. But I'ma just
Yeah,
say
DW is good.
it really is
I'm
a
not
top.
fucking with Wendy shit. I feel like not. I love candles. But I love Bath and Body Works candles. I think I
Oh
like
yeah,
them
DW
because
W the shit.
the big 3-wick ones. I have like 30 candles on my thing right now. But I feel like Wendy
Facts.
candle
That's what I do.
is a 1-wick white candle with a gold top that we don't know what it smells like. And I feel like you have not even established yourself as a brand. So to come out with a luxury candle, because I was like, for what, man?
Does she
For
have?
what?
I went on the site. Did you see any samples on her site? Sample size candles on her site? Because
Mm-mm.
I saw
Everything was
That's a missed opportunity.
$45.95.
She only got
she
4 different ones.
she sold. I thought she had
Or
like
is it
4 or 5
5?
different scents.
Mm-hmm.
But her mistake is not offering a gift set with small versions of each candle so that people like maybe like I said 125, maybe 100, 150,
The tea
180
lights.
depends. But you
Your
get
tea
like
lights.
not tea
The
lights, the
scent. No,
voltage ones.
no, this one that's the scent. I want to know what it smells like. I don't want to spend
That's what
50
I'm
bucks and I
saying.
don't know what it smells like. I want to
The
look tea
ones you
light.
sit behind the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
it's a volt. It's
The
a
two gold
voltage.
size.
That's what it's called. The size of it. It's not a tea light. It's a voltage because it's bigger than a tea light. Tea lights are small. But the voltage you want to be able to smell it. So like you would get a set of 4 or 5 of those in a set, and then you would be able to smell each one and burn it and see how it does in a small space. And then if you really like the scent, then you will go ahead and purchase a $45 candle.
I would.
Yeah. So
But I
she
don't know
needs
that
to
lady.
get that right. She needs to
I don't
get
know
that.
her. She
People are
don't know
purchasing
me.
off the
She
fact
don't
that they
know
like
me.
her.
No.
Yeah, no,
People,
I don't
I'm
think I'm
telling you, her
gonna.
winning this season, her doing well this season is the reason why them candles sold out.
I think it's good for her. If the candle's worth it, somebody let me know. But like everybody else said, I wait until December. I buy about 20. Yep, I buy about 20 or 30 candles from Bath and Body Works, and I don't buy no more for the rest of the year unless I go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods. So I
Same.
got about 20 Bath and Body Works mahogany teakwood candles in
Girl,
the bag.
I love them.
I'm
Yes.
marshmallow fireside, but right
Mm.
now I'm burning a lavender vanilla one, and I ain't gonna. No, I'm sorry, lavender rose. Yeah, I think it's a lavender
Mm.
rose one. It's like one of my favorite ones, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I went and bought that whole for $15. It was still on sale. It wasn't 25.
I
Yeah.
do
I
the
won't buy it for
aromatherapy
25.
ones. The aromatherapy ones is like
Yes.
That's what it is. It's one of the
I do
aromatherapy.
that.
Spearmint. I like the spearmint
Yes,
and the
spearmint and
eucalyptus.
Oh
I like both.
yes.
I get those a lot, but I love they have a watermelon and strawberry.
Oh,
Watermelon
watermelon
is
cactus.
something. Watermelon what?
I like the white
Cactus.
peach. The white
No,
peach
it's
tea.
watermelon and something else. I think it's watermelon and something, and it smells so delicious. I just love it.
But
But I
around this
mean,
time, that marshmallow fireside is everything, y'all. I ain't gonna, that marshmallow fireside is everything.
I like that when
And
he's having
mahogany
her own
tea.
business. I don't want it. Like I want her to succeed, yes,
Mhm.
but I still feel like your first candle should not be $50 because once you add in shipping and handling or whatever, and I'm like, no, I do think she should have had a because it's a 1 wick. If it was a 3-wick candle for $50, absolutely,
Mind you, Harlem
yes,
Candle Company are 12 wicks with 12 ounces with 2 wicks, just so we're clear. And I pay
yeah.
$45 for
It's
those.
just right.
They're really
Watermelon
good
lemonade
though.
is what it is. Watermelon lemonade, it's amazing. What from Bath and Body Works. But I want her to succeed, yes. But I'm like, girl, it's too expensive for a first time candle person making and whatnot.
Y'all better know about that white TP. That is the shit. I'm burning it in my other room right now because I like to have multiple candles burning at the same time, and my wild berry incense that is better than any other incense in life. Just so y'all know, if y'all not on wild berry incense, get on it. because all the other incenses smell the same.
And
But
I feel like
anyway,
you sold out because she had that many. Leave that be.
probably. Jamie, anything?
Yeah, I'm really struggling with the $45. I am because majority, if not all candles are made the same. They're all made the same. They're all made the same from the same wax. You know, some waxes are more expensive than others. So I'm just confused. I feel like people like to slap luxury on things and to use an excuse to upcharge the price, just like people that may do one celebrity hair and then say I'm a celebrity stylist, you know. So that's what it's giving for me. I could not do it, but if there are some people out there that want to buy it, you know what I'm saying, go out there and support Wendy. But I'm not going to spend no $45 on one wick candle and one candle 11 ounce when I can get multiple. That's the thing for me. Like, I like to get more bang for my buck, and this ain't enough banging for the book for me. But good luck to Wendy, girl. Do your thing. Congrats to her. We'll see if she gonna sell out the second time. So y'all make sure y'all continue to support her.
Did she name one of the scents Zen Win? Because I swear she was trying to brand
No,
with that.
they're all like King and some a Yomi, or you know, like other like Nigerian names, stuff like that. But they see, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. The way they are packaged, I probably might, if she had that sample kit, I would have bought the sample kit to see how they smelled and see if they permeated through the air effectively. But it does make me want to see about Karen's candle, the 3-wick. It does make me want to see about what the pricing is on that one.
That is true. That is true.
Okay. On top of that, did you guys hear about this book that there's a housewives book? Okay, so I've heard about it. I don't know if I feel like I don't care enough, honestly, because I feel like it's probably snippets about the Black housewives and mostly about the white ones, and I don't care. But this is like the main thing, okay? This is very small, but I'm going to go ahead and read this to you guys, okay? Like I've been doing for the whole night. This is what Candace had said about the whole situation. Okay, hold up. All right. Candace Dillard Bassett, I even reached out to Andy's assistant and asked for him to call me. Nothing. That's fucked up. I know he has well over 100 housewives, all texting and calling him all the time. But how many of them were physically attacked on camera by their co-star? The fact that he couldn't even schedule 10 minutes to reach out to me. You don't give a fuck. You are making money off of our backs and feeding your son with it. And you just don't give a fuck about us. And you can't tell me that you do. And when I saw him, I did say it to his face. Later on, I saw a post where he basically expressed that the fight last season made them look like Love and Hip Hop versus Real Housewives. And I just kind of I'm going to tell you what my problem with that is. Even though I do understand at the end of the day, Love and Hip Hop is way more physical and they got to put cars and tables and shit in between people so that they don't get into fights. Ultimately, reality TV show fodder is reality TV show fodder at the end of the day. And I feel like the White Housewives bitch slapping each other, going to jail for stealing from people. Honestly, when you pay attention, the White Housewives and their husbands have gone to jail far more than the Black ones, but it never seems to be that big of a deal when they get into it. But now all of a sudden, when the Black Housewives get into it, it looks like Love and Hip Hop, but it didn't look like that when the Judices and shit was fighting and getting arrested and going to jail for selling whatever the fuck they had going on, child. Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like at the end of the day, Andy is one of those white people that have figured out a way to capitalize off of Black people's stories and their images, and he continues to do so in a way that I feel like is kind of disrespectful and unbalanced. That's what I'm gonna say. I feel like it's unbalanced because I feel like the perspective is different depending on which show he is talking about, because things have gotten physical on other shows, and only when it was Monique and Candace does it now compare it to Love and Hip Hop. I get it. You don't want them to fight physically. You want them to argue. I get all of that, but I still find Andy problematic. And I also feel like the fact that he did not respond to Candace. I felt like that was fucked up. Even though I don't agree with her take on things, ultimately she's still one of the housewives on your show. And if you were going to allow her to stay on the show, why are you not responding to her? But I bet you if it was one of those other Caucasian housewives, you would have picked up your fucking phone. But I'm gonna let it go.
The only
Bondy.
thing I have to say about
Oh, go ahead,
Andy,
Jamie.
sorry, the only thing I have to say about that situation, I mean, him being called out, because Candace wasn't the only person that called him out. Another white housewife called him out. Andy gives me, from what I've seen in these excerpts, he gives me pick me energy as well. And he tailors his response to whoever he's talking to at that time, just to go along. That's just the short thing that I wanted to highlight. That's it.
While I agree that Andy is problematic, part of me wonders if we got this love and hip hop response all because Candace wanted him to take a stance on this. Um, Candace wanted him to publicly acknowledge that she was a victim in this situation. So I wonder if it's a mix of two things. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is problematic, but at the same time, Candace wanted a response. I don't know.
I think the reason people feel that way because Andy's white. I feel like we, the viewers, we've said before, this is the love and hip hop. I think we made that same comparison to the fights or the fuss, like how we even brought up how on Atlanta for LaToya, how we said LaToya should be on love and hip hop. I think black folk have made a comparison. To me, I think it's an accurate one based on us. So I don't really care about Andy because I feel like, we feel like the housewives is supposed to be a step above the love and hip hop bullshit. Black folks have said that. I think Candace wanted Andy to reach out to her personally. I feel like he don't have to because it's not like he's the only producer on the show. He's just the one that's more visible. And for her to make it seem as if no one on the show talked to her, but she wanted to hear from him. That's her personal preference. Fine, fine, fine. But I'm looking like, Mom, you wasn't attacked. And like someone said, she press charges. So I feel like some of the producers probably had to be hands off because they probably not want to seem like, okay, a producer is being on one person's side more than the other. So I think that can play a part in it. And Candace, as Andy had said before, had been going crazy on Twitter. They had that conversation. So I think, it's less Andy's judgment and it's more the viewers. We feel like it ain't love and hip hop. We've said that. So I can't knock him for saying the same shit that I said because he happens to be white. Is Andy problematic? Yes, he is. Should he not be so visible? Yes, he should not be. But Candace can't make this to be something that it isn't. She still wants attention. But she then apologized for what she said to him after the book came out. Something like, yeah, Candace wanted attention.
Jaylee, you wrapped up everything I was thinking when I was going.
Oh, yeah, because I'm like, we made that. Not only that, for the
I
Jersey
know I
people,
did.
People have said compare Jersey to the Jersey housewives to Jersey Shore shit. So I feel like there have been comparisons in different realms, but because we don't watch white folk, we don't know. But I've seen that comparison. I'm like, I've said for verbatim, I don't want these housewives to be acting like love hip hop. What y'all fussing, fighting, cussing for? Y'all supposed to be the rich black folk of this city. Do that.
I just want to say I have never compared it to love and hip hop because, in all honesty, I've never felt that fighting on television made us any less than white people. And at the end of the day, I don't think fighting, whether physical or vocal, ends up turning out that positive either way. Like everybody acts like there's this huge fucking difference when at the end of the day, you still be known for arguing and promoting bullshit on reality shows. Like whether you fighting physically or fighting verbally, you're still looked at as a reality star, which is less than an actress, which is less than a celebrity that's known for actual art form of some sort. So at the end of the day, there are all levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Would y'all consider Bad Girls Club like a black show? Because his statement
No.
was this. Well, his statement was this isn't Bad Girls Club or Love and Hip Hop, and the part that made the blogs was Love and Hip Hop.
Okay, I'll accept
So
that.
I just wanted to add that in there.
I'll accept that. It was, yeah, but at the same time, it's like, say this is not Jersey Housewives, motherfucker. Like, don't act like that shit ain't already happened on other franchises on your network. Like, that's my whole thing. Don't act like it hasn't happened on other franchises when you talk about it as it pertains to the Black Housewives. And I feel like when they talk about the Black Housewives, they act like this is something so foreign from their platform. And in all honesty, it's fucking not. It's not. Anything else, y'all, before we move on from there? Okay, the looks. I didn't talk about them, but I wanted to talk about them with y'all. For me, this is basically my list of girls in order. I think once I really looked at it, I feel like Wendy was giving number one, and Karen was giving number two, but you can flip flop them depending on how I'm feeling on a certain day, because there's something about that pink right now that is giving me on Karen. I feel like, of course, Scala has been given on the looks. She absolutely has been given on the looks. I love the homage to the 80s and the 90s, bitch, with the shoulder pad and the ponytail. I think Robin looks really pretty here, but this is one of Robin's safe looks, but her body looks good. The dress is pretty. Her makeup is cute. I don't know how I feel about the hair, but I think it goes good with the outfit look. Mia is next for me because Mia is giving showgirl realness. And I think she looks really amazing. Ashley's dress and body look great, but I hate her hair. Candace, I hate your wig and I hate your dress, but you're pretty. And Giselle, you just never seem to do well. You're not the fairy godmother, bitch. What is this? What are you doing? Please stop getting your dresses off the rack. Hire someone. Get some help. That's all I have. Ladies, where are y'all at with this?
I think Giselle looks like a praise dancer.
Period.
that little extraness I'm giving is very much Sunday performance. She is the lead praise dancer. I would have to go in the same order. The only thing is I would put Karen first. And I really like the Scholars look. I feel like that's what Drew was trying to give us on the Atlanta reunion, but she couldn't really give it that. Was it Drew? It was Drew and Shamia that was trying to go for that 1980s tease. And I feel like a Scholar, she nailed it. This is what they should have been achieving. Robin, she's cute, but I can't stand her, so I ain't gonna say nothing else. Mia, it's something about that dress where I feel like it wasn't as flattering as it could have been. It was making me think about her ball gown stripper days. So yeah, I mean, other than that, I really don't have anything to say besides Candace's wig was just so ill-fitting. I've seen her in much better hairstyles. So yeah, I think as a group, as a collective, except for Giselle, they all look like they're supposed to be sitting at the same table. Giselle looked like she late for Sunday service.
Yeah, I hate Giselle's outfit. It really bothered me. It irked me so much. Like, how do you be on this show with 6 seasons and still ain't get it right? That's a problem. I didn't like anything about it, from her hair down to her feet that we couldn't see. Candace hated the hair, liked the outfit, did not like the shoes at all. Ashley, dress was plain. For me, I really like the outfits of everybody that did the absolute most. Right, the people that didn't do the most, I didn't really like theirs too much. But Ashley's makeup, on point, beautiful. It wasn't too much. It was pretty light on the face. It gave natural, just beautiful. They did her makeup. Mia, loved her look all the way down. Loved her look. I love the peacock style on her dress. What I loved the most about the dress was the tail and the way that it curved. It didn't just fall to the ground. It was like a curvy type of tail to the dress or whatever. So that was really cute. Really, really liked her outfit. I thought Mia looked great. Robin, she looked all right. She wasn't really giving. I'll give her cute, but it wasn't anything just like, oh my God, Robin, oh my God. Yeah, no, I think I liked her hair in the confessional with the yellow on, with the bun on top. I like that better than what she got going on over here. A Scholar, my number one, hands down. Hands down. I love a leg out, the way it falls. Love the ponytail, right? She did something completely different with her hair. So I absolutely loved a Scholar. She was my number one look. Karen always gives. This looked really good though. So she would be second place for me. So I really liked everything about her outfit as well, especially for Karen to show them young legs that she got. When it comes to Wendy, Love the dress. Wendy was giving. Her face was not. I don't know who did her makeup, but it was extremely heavy on the face, and I felt like they overdid the concealer on her face. Like it was a whole lot. They didn't do that great of a job. But her dress and stuff was cute. Her hair was nice, but her makeup was a no for me. I feel like my top three were Ascala, Mia, and Karen, with Karen being number 2 and Mia being third. But Ascala's my number 1.
My top 3 is Karen, Robin, and Ashley. I feel like Karen was top tier all the way around. I love Robin's look. I think Robin usually gets it wrong, and I think the dress fit her right. It was a different color, which I liked as well. I liked her shoes and her hair, which was weird for me. And I like Ashley's look, but I like the sleekness of her dress. I think Mia would be number 4 for me. I did not like Wendy look because Wendy look reminded me too much of Quad from Past Reunions. I feel like whoever has done Quad's dresses probably did hers too, and it looked like something I've seen Quad in before. I thought a scholar dress looked like a prom dress from the 70s or the 80s. Candace looked a fucking fool because I don't know if that was a dress or a 2-piece, or I didn't get why the bodysuit was on the outside, not on the inside. She had a Jada Pinkett wig on, and I did not like that. Giselle is for sure Audrey Magini. And that's it.
All right then. That's wait. Did Necey go?
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah, I went
right
first.
then. Okay, so we're moving on from there. On the actual episode, so Giselle and Robin left. I didn't care. Ashley is trying. Ashley's trying to make a thing of her in the situation with G. Girl, stop. Y'all go ahead and talk about those two things, and then we'll move into the last topic before we get out of here.
Bye, Robin. Bye, Giselle. Bye, Robin. Bye, Giselle.
There are men in this house.
That was stupid too. I didn't
What if
understand
Wanda
that.
came?
And he would have been another man in the house. So
Wanda never comes, so she knew wasn't coming.
and for her to say that, it's like, girl, you knew you was coming on this couple strip, so you already knew it was gonna be men in this house. So why would you even say that? They weren't planning on staying in this house. What I'm thinking.
She don't live with nothing but men, so I don't even understand why that's the issue for her.
Ooh, there's that. The thing with Ashley and what you call it on the bus. I felt like G was picking on everybody, not just Ashley. When Candace was messing around with Chris's head, he highlighted the fact that she was messing with Chris's head. That's what G does for now until it gets annoying. I guess it annoyed Miss Ashley. My issue primarily with Ashley was her trying to compare, I guess, like her husband or something like that. She said, I can't remember what she said about Michael, something about he knows how to act when he around people or whatever it is. And I don't like the amnesia that Ashley seems to get when it comes to Michael and his antics. And that's all I have.
Ashley, honey, I don't know why she even is acting like, I don't know what's going on with Ashley this season. And I'm just over it, but I don't know why she wants to fuss with G. I think G is a creepy old man too, but I'm like, I just ignore him. So, I mean, ain't no big issue.
Right. If you tired, then go to sleep. I think she was spending too much extra time trying to argue with Gordon. I'm like, if you are so tired, ignore this fool, because what he's gonna do is continue to be foolish, and just go to sleep.
Right. And stop using your kids talking about I'm a new mom and I haven't slept. You didn't care when you rode all the way down to Williamsburg. And you knew that you was coming on this trip, a cash trip. You knew you wasn't gonna get no sleep. So I'm kind of tired of those talks.
But she slept the night before. I'm like, you went to sleep. So why
she
you
said
like
she didn't. I thought she
you
said she was up too late.
But that's the weird thing. Your kids ain't even there, so it's not like you came from your house. You was there already in your own room breastfeeding. I was confused when she made it a big deal because everybody jokes about someone who sleeps. I'm like, girl. So I was like,
especially if you got your mouth open. Like, you know, we're going to laugh at you if you got your mouth open. Like, stupid ass. Like, nobody's that adult. I'm sorry. Most people aren't that adult. If your mouth open, they either going to say something or they're going to close your mouth while you sleeping because nobody wants to see anything fly in there while you sleeping. Okay? Close that up. And then, okay, so the last thing was really like the whole makeup. Everybody's crying. Mia and Candace kissing makeup. And I honestly... first of all, Robin talking about Wendy downstairs. I'm tired of Robin. I'm tired of Robin. At the end of the day, I feel like Robin is a hater. People talking about, oh, Robin is so real and she's so great. I don't see it. And if I don't see it on a reality show, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm sorry. But like whatever is going on behind the scenes doesn't matter if when we get on the show, your ass is a wet rag. Okay. So I'm over her. I didn't even care what she said to Ascala. I didn't even care that she didn't care that they told everybody about it. Ultimately, I feel like Mia wasn't really upset about what was said about her mom. So I just kind of feel like that was all cat. I feel like Candace was mad you said her shit was trash because she is scared that it might be trash. And y'all pretended to make up for the moment. But I think Candace now knows that she can't fuck with Mia, and Mia knows that she needs to be careful with how she fucks with Candace if she don't want to get dragged.
I feel like Robin is a sore loser. At least that's how she's acting. Like she's just an ultimate sore loser. And what I hope that she learns from this season is if you kind of ease back off of hopping in things regarding Giselle, you don't have to worry about anybody coming at you. And if that's the case, you'll know that they're speaking to you directly because those darts were never for you to begin with. Mia and Candace, what can I say? I'm not mad at them having a moment. I appreciate Candace being honest about the low budget situation and them getting to a place where they can be okay and they can coexist. We'll see how that's going to go throughout the season. Because even though into next season, because even though they made up, there still was some darts that were shot out from Mia on social media and stuff. So we'll see what the dynamics is actually going to be of their friendship if they're still going to be able to move forward in healing. So that's it.
You know, with Robin, I felt like when she was having that conversation with Ascala, it seemed as though she almost had a lick of sense whenever she said, I don't feel like Wendy's room situation was targeted towards anyone. It's just the nature of, you know, how people arrive. She knew they showed up late. But she also knows the assignment, and that's to be up Giselle's ass and to, you know, just follow whatever Giselle does. And I guess the task that week was to make Wendy look bad. So Robin needs to go, okay, because she has her own opinions, and then she gets around Giselle, and then she knows the assignment. So I'm tired of her. Giselle can have her own assignments without Robin being there. Mia and Candace. I'm glad that they made up. Honestly, they're one and the same. They both got mommy issues. So I think they should actually be friends. And that's why it was funny to me that a couple episodes ago, Candace said the elephant in the room is that you need therapy. I couldn't help but laugh because look at the pot calling the kettle black. Yo ass need therapy too. It was hilarious. And I have to say, I know we're gonna get into this, but I couldn't even really help but focus on the way that Giselle was moving this episode. I know a lot of people have called her colorist and, you know, the show colorist. And I hate having those conversations and throwing those labels out there sometimes. But I couldn't help but see it with Giselle. I saw it all day throughout this whole episode. She called Wendy angry on FaceTime when Wendy said that she greeted her, which she did. She sat in the kitchen when Wendy walked downstairs, and Wendy greeted everybody and said, "Nice to have you here." She was obviously speaking to the outsiders. For some reason, Giselle thought that she deserved a better greeting than that. Next, on the boat, she calls her, was she combative and aggressive again when Wendy was neither combative or aggressive at all. She was confrontational. I feel like she was respectful the entire time. She invited y'all on trips she didn't have to invite y'all on. So anytime Wendy said something, the motive was to make her look like the angry black woman. And Robin did the same thing. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to debate. No, you don't want to talk about it because you're wrong and you don't have valid points to explain why it is that you and Giselle are trying to be miserable bitches. So I couldn't help but watch this episode and really think about the language that Giselle was using when she was talking to Wendy versus the language that she uses whenever she talks to Mia. Whenever me, like even with Mia and Candace, whenever Mia inserted herself in drama, she didn't tell Mia like, "Hey, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. This is what you should do." Meanwhile, if Candace gets into something, whenever they showed up to the house late, she felt the need to tell Candace how she should operate around Mia. So I think Giselle has different standards for different people on this show. And I'm just upset at the words that she chose to describe Wendy and how Robin co-signed it. So both of them.
I'm happy everybody made up.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and do it then. So yeah, you hoes are colorists, and I've been telling y'all this since the beginning. Good or bad hair, see if I care. Good or bad hair. Giselle and Robin are head of the light skin sorority. Okay. Giselle is head bitch, and Robin is a minion. She is a second in command. She acts on her behalf. Like it's exactly that. Like I don't even understand how people cannot see it. It's been going on for a long time now. They may have hazed Ashley, but Ashley was able to fit in, and we make allowances for Ashley. Like somebody said in the comments, it's crazy how Ashley is on her second baby, but still she's considered to be a new mom. But last season, when Wendy was having a new baby, she wasn't a new mom because she'd already had kids. So at the end of the day,
And
I
she was
feel
being
like
angry. Remember?
yes,
They made
she's
Wendy
always
aggressive
and I've been
instead of
saying
being
that since the
hurt.
beginning. Yes. Instead of being
Yeah.
like you can't be upset. You have
Period.
to be aggressive. I've been pointing out that wordage for a long time, and I'm just kind of tired. And I feel like I already see what it is, and I already know what it is. So I don't have to keep telling y'all that that's what it is. He would be asking me. I'd be like, I've been telling y'all for the longest that this is how that girl is operating, because I know the Giselles of the world. I'm from Louisiana. I know the Giselles of the world. Like I'm very clear on who she is and what's happening here and why it is that Mia can come onto this show, okay, and lie to all of y'all about what Robin said, and everybody laughs it off as if it wasn't a big deal. But Wendy simply defends herself against y'all saying that her husband is a fucking cheater, and now she's aggressive and combative. Girl, I've been seeing it. Thank you for the super chat, Chim Cham. Giselle is for sure colorist, like Necey says. She says calling Wendy angry and aggressive. Plus, her tagline is a secret to this pretty face is staying in the shade.
I was glad that Wendy threw those terms right back at her when she called her combative and aggressive. Wendy responded
You're
with
a mean girl. You're
and a bully.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, Wendy is very quick on her feet with her being a political commentator. So she was able to kind of catch that in that moment. And she did what she needed to do.
Throwing it back. She's been throwing it back for like a minute now. Honestly, I feel like ever since she figured out that they was gonna be her enemy this season, she's been like, okay, well now I know what we're doing, and I'm gonna keep throwing it back at y'all ass whenever y'all throw it at me. But I'm gonna keep it cool, which is the difference between her and Candace. Candace, I feel like you want to get all upset at Mia and shit, and then you passive as fuck when it comes to Giselle and Robin wrapping your legs around that lesbian's waist and all of that. But then, they the ones that do the most. They your real, like they should be considered the ones who are really your friends, considering how long y'all been on this show together. And they did the same thing that Mia did, inquired about your relationship and if your man was getting paid, and you clearly glazed over that to start an argument with Mia because it's a pissing contest, like Karen said. This is about you not being solidified in a group and you being a new girl, so you need to respect me because I've been here longer. That's what this whole thing between Candace and Mia was. I've been nice to you, bitch. How you gonna come at me when you a newbie? Okay. But at the end of the day, Giselle and Robin continue to see fit to allow Mia all these passes, even when she's coming at their necks. So yeah, I for sure think that the show's a tad bit colorist, which is why Giselle is Queen Bee, even though she doesn't give you anything.
And Queen Bee under Andy as well. People
That's what I said. That's what
her.
I meant.
Yeah. People take her light hair, light color eyes as a. She wears it as a crown.
It's a ticket.
I think it's
a
funny
golden
that
ticket.
you think that Wendy has no substance now that she got plastic surgery. When Giselle has brought nothing to the show, she ain't even brought a man to the show, to be real. So I'm like, come on.
Thank you, Jessica Gilbert, for the super chat. Wendy has been my favorite all season. She has consistently checked Giselle and Robin effortlessly, and I love it. Giselle is acting like she's the victim, but I think she has met someone who won't back down. Listen, when she was in that kitchen expecting some ass kissing moment from Wendy and she didn't get it and she was so upset, I was living, because I feel like she really wants the girls to bow down to her because that's her role in her mind. And when they don't do it, it really upsets her. And I enjoy those moments.
If Wendy played her cards right, she could be the head in charge. I think everyone knows the show has colorist issues, but I do feel like it's because of the cast. I think the cast is unbalanced.
Yeah.
The fact that Giselle should not have Rob as a sidekick. I think Wendy, Karen, even me, if she stopped being, wanting to be friends with them, can really take down the pick me attitude of Giselle and Robin, who wants the newbies to like them. I think Candace, when she isn't being a fucking spoiled brat, she's cool. So I think the cast has every chance to be better, but they all keep getting sucked into Giselle's bullshit. And because Robin is on Giselle's team, which makes Candace on Giselle's team, and we had Wendy last season who was on Giselle's team, it's like the season is so unbalanced. Had Monique not left, and had they been able to work through that situation, I feel like next season would have been even better because it would have been more balanced. I really hope, I know what happened. I really hope Monique will come back. I think if she came back, her and Wendy would team up because Wendy sees through Giselle's bullshit and Karen sees through Giselle's bullshit. It's unbalanced because Giselle has too many
Minions
people on her side, and that's the bullshit of it all.
basically. And that's really sad because that's why I hate when people would act like last season when we were talking about the fight, like people wanted that to happen. Like I did not want that to happen. I was so mad about that shit because I enjoyed the Karen, Monique, Candace, little trio. I really enjoyed it because they would back each other up when it came to the Giselle shit. So Giselle just couldn't come to people with Robin and get away with it because they were kind of backing each other up for a moment until everybody started beefing. And it's just, it's still upsetting to me. And I wish we could fix it. But I think that too much water is under the bridge. And I don't think either one of them could really come to the table. Honestly, I feel more so Candace couldn't. I feel like Monique probably could if it were presented in a way that it would be balanced, but Candace ain't about to come to her, and be like, let's get over it. Because she's still, mad she got slapped. So yeah, that's that on that. But yeah, anybody have anything else to add about the Potomacs?
Nope.
No brown dick comments? Okay.
It was dicks all around.
It was. How did you feel about that? How did y'all feel about possible dickage being all on the bus?
I thought it was a fun moment. I think there's a level of drunk husbands that I think is safe and funny. And I think both G and Chris being drunk and often show their dicks to me was funny. Now had they pulled their dick out, that would have been
Different
weird.
story.
But I think the joking of it all to me is I want these shows to be shit we can talk about, laugh about. That's what this episode was to me. This to me was the best episode because again, even though we had a little bit of bickering here and there between, me, not Mia, but like with Robin, Robin act like she did not say whatever. I still felt like it was constructive conversations had by all. I like the conversation between Chris and Candace. I think the show needs to get back to being entertaining and not so much let's see who fighting who. And that's why I'm like hands off because I don't feel like every week discussing somebody fighting. And to me, this shows how they don't have to all be buddy, but they can still be adults and have fun and laugh and joke. Even seeing Candace joking with G. That's what the show's supposed to be. So I hope it keeps going that direction. And nobody has to be perfect or whatever. But I'm like, the show needs to get back into a joking situation because if the husbands can pull dicks out on a van in front of wives and they all laugh, that's a good fucking show. Versus someone getting mad that the husband almost pulled a dick out and now you want to fight. You know what I'm saying? It could have went left and I'm happy it did not. But,
I was worried for a second because I had to rewind because Ashley be having that white woman tone on and I didn't know what G had said to her at the beginning. I had to rewind that shit like, wait a minute, what happened? And then I was like, oh, she tripping.
Yeah,
at the end when she was mad about the sleep stuff.
I thought he said something inappropriate. She was sitting there about to cry. I was like, girl, if you're so tired, go to sleep. Quit arguing.
Wear your earbuds in, bitch. Put your earbuds in and go see if you won't even be able to hear him clowning your ass for letting flies all in your mouth. I just feel like Ashley wants somebody to be worse than Michael. And she sees that G is the unruly drunk. So she's going to try to make him out to seem worse than Michael when the truth of the matter is he hasn't grabbed anybody's ass. He's flicked the tongue, but he hasn't grabbed anybody's ass. Your husband is still worse. And That's where it's at. Michael is still worse than everybody's husband. It is what it is, ma'am. You decided to marry that creepy old man that likes to grab on people. That was you. You did that. And then you came on the show. Deal with it. Accept it. Swallow it like you do his children. Anything else, y'all? No, that's it. All right, then, y'all. That's the end of the show. We so happy that y'all joined us on this good Thursday night. Don't forget that we will be interviewing Kimmy on Sunday night. Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Time. Come to Jay Lee's Corners channel to see Kimmy Scott. Okay, we'll be asking her questions. Don't forget to let us know if y'all have any questions pertaining to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Come see about us. Don't forget to follow everybody. Okay, OohLadiesFirstPanel on Instagram because we be posting this shit. Email us at OohLadiesFirstPanel@gmail.com. Follow me at Bondy Blue on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay. And also you can follow me on Fanbase. I'm gonna try to do something on there, child. Follow Jami at Jami ThatsMe. Follow Jay Lee at Jay Lee's Corner on Twitter and YouTube, and then J_Lee's_Corner on Instagram because somebody took the Instagram. And then follow Necey at Necey Dixon. Okay. We love you guys. We appreciate y'all for joining our show. Y'all have a good night. Moderators, please time code this show, and we will see y'all in the next one.